What's happening, everybody? Appreciate you guys checking in. We in here. It's been a minute. We couldn't hit you guys on a Sunday. I had some family stuff going on, so it's been a minute since we chopped it up in the war room, man. Appreciate everybody checking in with us. Make sure you guys do hit that like button. Just as a heads up, we're going to start out right out the box. We do a sub-only chat to show our appreciation to our subscribers. So if you want to get included in the chat, hit that sub button, show that support, and it's a little something we try to do for our subscribers. So we appreciate everybody rocking. We're going to talk all head coaching moves today. All the head coaching moves, all the stuff that went down over the weekend, the stuff that's gone down the last couple of days. But obviously, it's down to the wire. We had Todd Monken. He now is the head coach over with the Cleveland Browns. We're going to talk about that, but we're going to really dedicate this show to all head coaching hires, all the movement, because we're the last two. It's between us, the Arizona Cardinals, and we got another interview lined up with Clint Kubiak. So we're going to get the input of everybody in the chat. So definitely hit us up. Let me know what your thoughts are. But we're going to rock out all head coaching news. So we appreciate everybody popping in. Make sure you guys hit that like button. If you guys are over with Chris Tech Show Podcast, he's over there. Hit that sub button. You got the Severe Raider on this side. I'm 805 Raider, Real Talk Raider Nation. We appreciate y'all pulling up. Gotta say what's up to my guys, man. Chris, what's happening, man?
What's happening, man? Just ready to talk this ball, getting close to getting this coach. And depending on what coach we get, I might have a long trip planned. So we'll just see what happens. You know what I'm saying? We'll see what happens.
You already lined up the cruises. That's what you're doing.
Oh, it's going to be a long cruise, man. I'm going somewhere where I'm appreciated. You know, if you know, you know. I got a statue.
Man.
You know.
Bronze. Pure bronze.
Pure bronze. All the pancit and adobo. I could. Yeah.
Man.
Yeah.
Man. I'm
some
telling you.
Tahoe out there too, man. Get you some Tahoe, man. You be good.
We just need we just gotta get some T-shirts made of that, and I can pay off my mortgage, bro. That would be amazing. That'd be amazing.
Telling you, I'm a god out there,
man.
Severe, man, what's going on, man? How you feeling?
Yeah, man. Hey, look, I already got me a cruise book for April.
Yeah, you do.
I already got one book. Yeah, I knew some fuckery was afoot. So I was like, let me go ahead and get mine early. But Chris, they buy the whole deck.
Going down, man. It's going down.
And Chris is VIP without even trying. That's what it is. So you gotta love it, man. We appreciate everybody that's popping up in here. Remember, do us a favor, hit that like button, double tap the screen. We'll have a little bit of fun. Again, we're gonna talk all head coaching news, all the movement that's gone on in the last week or so, man, because it's been a whole week since we've been on with y'all. We appreciate everybody chopping it up with us. We're gonna say what's up to the chat here in just a second. Upstate, what's going on, brother? How you doing, man? Appreciate you rocking up in here. You got TK in the building as well. What's going on? Donuts Duncan, what's happening, man? Appreciate you rocking with us. What up, Troy? What's good, man? Sacktown, one of the OGs with us. What's going on? Appreciate you rocking with us. What up, Lone? What's happening, man?
Saw you happening.
You went live earlier today, man. Always a classic. Love it, brother. Appreciate you rocking with us. Eric, Raiders Hunter, what's going on? Appreciate you pulling up. We got Coach John in the building. What's going on, man? If you want that mortgage paid off in 2 to 5 years, I can help you out with
We ain't trusting you, Coach, man. You got scam written all over you, man.
Coach is like, have you looked into a Jamba Juice franchise?
Man, Coach have us all in the red.
How would you like an established business?
So Coach, you're going to figure out some way to invest in Tommy Ami. And then we all know which way that's going to go. What up, John? Appreciate you. What up, DK in the building? Daniel Kim pulling up with us. Appreciate you. What up, Raider Paul in the building? What's going on, man? Ryu Ken, what's happening? Hopefully they're working on the contract details. We're going to talk about the head coaches. That's for sure. Isaiah, what's going on? Appreciate you rolling with us. Let's see. Just want to make sure. Tubi, Chili in the building as well. What's going on?
Lee, what's up?
All right. Cool. All right, everybody so far, remember, double tap that screen. We definitely appreciate you. A couple more. Mac in the building. What's going on? Mike Valley, what's happening, man?
Mike, what's happening?
We're going to talk some head coaches. We're going to just jump right into it again at the tail end of this. We're going to leave a little bit of time to chop it up with you guys, but we definitely want to kind of get your input as to just what the movement's been. If there's a coach that's now slotted in another head coaching position, did you like them? Just give it that feedback. We're going to definitely start chopping it up, and we're going to get right into it. Again, just kind of leave some time to chop it up with you guys because I know a lot of the draft talk is going to happen real quick. I'm just waiting for it. So we're going to jump into it, have a little bit of fun. We appreciate y'all. Remember, if you guys want to get included in the chat, hit that sub button. Just our way to show our appreciation to all those subscribers. So, guys, we're going to pull this up. Again, we might be backtracking just a little bit. Haven't hit you guys, at least in the war room, since Wednesday. But Jesse Minter is now with the Baltimore Ravens. Obviously, he was a hot name for some people. A lot of people liked him. Obviously, did some really good things with that Chargers defense. But I definitely had my take on him. So I'm going to throw it to you first, Chris, man. Jesse Minter going to the Baltimore Ravens. What's your take on it? How you feel about it? Chat, let me know as well.
Yeah, so for Minter, he's a good coach. Energetic. Players love him. I loved him when he was at Michigan. He was a dog. Everything that I've heard about him is, he's a player's coach, but I just don't think he was ready yet to be a head coach. I think one thing about being with Harbaugh, he shields a lot of. He takes on a lot of stuff where he shields his coaches, and even like JJ McCarthy. Like he's able to kind of make sure they're always in the right position and kind of shields them from all the BS. I just think that if Jesse was going to be a head coach somewhere, I think the Ravens was a good opportunity for him. They already have a good defense. He's already been in that building. He knows the organization. The organization knows him. Fan base knows him. Players know him. So I think that is a good spot for him. I did not want him here with the Raiders. I just don't think he's ready. And being in a division with Harbaugh, Andy Reid, and Sean Payton just wasn't ready as of yet. But I think down the line we will talk about him, maybe 4 or 5 years down the line as being, one of the premier coaches.
Yeah, I mean, definitely has some promise, right? He's only been in the league for 3 years. I think this is his third season, basically coaching in the NFL total, and so he's got very little experience just in the NFL level. And Silver, I'm going to throw it to you in just a second, but one of the things that I've always said when it comes to young, inexperienced coaches that are in the NFL, if you're going to jump into a head coaching position real quickly, I think you have to have an extremely dialed-in front office.
Right.
I think that the GM, the owner, everything has to be extremely dialed in so that you can help with the learning curve with a young head coach. If your front office is still trying to go through its own learning curve like us,
exactly,
why would you want that with a young head coach as well? You know what I'm saying? So I think it was a good spot, but definitely have more to say. But Severe, man, thoughts on Jesse Minter to the Ravens?
Yeah, man, I kind of deferred a lot of the expertise over to Chris, and he was putting us up on game. Obviously, Michigan, they won a national championship on the backs of their defense and of their running game. And then he came to the league and he was able to make a pretty quick impact on the Chargers defense, even though they kind of had, Staley is a good defensive coach. No matter what you want to say about him as a head coach, he's a good defensive coach. So the defense was already in step, but, obviously Minter was able to elevate those guys a little bit. And I agreed, man, if he was going to go somewhere, you want to go to a stable organization. They have a franchise face already and Lamar Jackson. They have dogs on the defense side of the ball, whether you talk about Roquan, whether you talk about Hamilton, whether it's Matabuke. Like, they got guys over there already. So, like, to be able to step into that situation with basically a damn near ready-made team that has been coached well by a guy that that you've worked for and worked with. Right. And, and be embraced by the organization. I think that was an ideal landing spot for him. I agreed. I didn't want him over here just because we're such a mess, and just to bring a guy like that over here, and he's gonna be trying to fix things, and this ain't the place for a guy like that. This ain't the place for a guy. He got a nice soft landing spot where he's going to be able to kind of learn and grow, and Lamar Jackson is going to be able to cover a lot of your mistakes. he's gonna be able to cover a lot of your mistakes. You get him with a solid offensive coordinator, he's going to be able to cover a lot of those mistakes. The same thing on the defensive side of the ball. You got guys like Roquan and Matabuke and Kyle Hamilton back there as well. Like, you got guys that can cover some of your mistakes up. So I think that was the ideal spot for him.
No, I agree 100%. I got one last thing to say on that. We're going to get to the next one again. We're just kind of ripping through some of the head coaching moves, and at the very end, we're going to talk about, obviously, the guys that we have on our radar that are specifically tied to the Raiders. But Jason, what's going on? Appreciate you pulling up with us. Foo Chris, what's going on, brother? Hey, Foo Chris, I'm gonna send you a message. There's something going on this weekend in Vegas. Raider stuff going on. I'm gonna shoot you a message, man. Just so you got a heads up. Maybe you want to show up with it. Jeff, what's going on, man? So, Roddy, you're saying as long as our coach is a young, offensive-minded, I'm good. Don't care who at this point. Just no to old guys. DK, so why are we entertaining Davis Webb? We're going to talk about Davis Webb. DK, I promise you. Jason, I also believe with a young, inexperienced head coach, the front office has to be patient and let him make some mistakes.
Precisely.
Yeah. And that's not even inexperienced, right? Even if you have a ton of experience in coaching, for example, like Clint Kubiak, or even you could say it with a Mike LaFleur, guys that have a lot of experience in the NFL, there's still going to be a learning curve for them because they've never actually done it. They've never been in the driver's seat as a head coach. And so even with guys that have 10 plus years of NFL experience, there's still going to be a pretty big learning curve for them as well. And you got to have patience, And so that's obviously something us Raiders fans and front office really don't know much about. It's okay.
Not a damn thing.
But I thought Jesse Minter, I thought this was a perfect spot for him. And Chris, I agree with you. I think you mentioned it. I do think that at the end of the day, there's going to be a really big learning curve for him. Only being 3 years in the NFL, he's still trying to figure out just how to coach in the NFL in general, how to adapt to these NFL players.
Right.
And so not only now do you have to adapt to them in this sense and still try to understand how a defense works, because as much as you schemed up some really good defenses, offenses are also going to understand how your defensive scheme looks. Right. And so you have to continuously make sure that you're evolving with your own scheme. And now you have to understand or figure out, how do I do that as a head coach as well? And so, again, I thought it was a really good landing spot. And Severe, you kind of mentioned it. It's also even better when you have a quarterback like Lamar that can cover up some of the mistakes and make you look a little bit good at times, or a little bit better than maybe what you're doing. So, got a couple more in here. What up, LS? What's going on, man? Todd Monken not even taking a phone call from us last season to taking the Browns head coaching gig this season. It's crazy.
Browns fans are going crazy. They're going crazy.
They're probably hot. Browns fans are hot.
We're going to talk about Monken. I promise. We're going to talk about Monken. I promise.
But look, we wanted Monken last year. Like, that's what's crazy. Raider fans would have been like, Todd Monken, man. Hey, that's a good, smooth hire. Like, we'd have picked him up last year. That would have actually been a young guy compared to who we got. Who's this whippersnapper coming through the halls in Henderson? Like, this guy.
PYT. Exactly. A little young tenderoni.
So it's like, man, you feel me? Like, look, if I have to choose between the Raiders and the Browns right now, that's a tough choice. That's a tough choice. The Browns, you get Myles Garrett. You know what you're getting from Myles Garrett. And now you got Mason Graham. You got Carson Schlesinger. You got Denzel Ward, who's a top 10 corner. Jeremiah Owusu-Karamoah coming back at linebacker. You got a linebacker tandem with Schlesinger and Jock. That'll feed families right there. Yeah. Like that's a no-fly zone for tight ends and slot receivers over the middle of the field. And you got Garrett already. Graham gonna come into his own. You got Dylan Sampson, Quinshon Judkins at running back. You solidify the offensive line. You hopefully get some better quarterback play and get another outside weapon outside of Fannin. You got something there. Yeah. You got something there, but at the end of the day, it sucks. It's the Cleveland Browns.
Yeah.
Well,
but we're the Raiders.
Exactly.
I know. I'm not throwing us out. I'll put us in that boat too. But LS, man, this is why I hung on to the wife, man. Once the lights come on after 3 a.m., after typically 2 a.m. around here, sometimes it's the leftovers are rough. What up, Herman? What's going on, brother? Appreciate you rocking with us. LS couldn't even pay me enough money to coach in that franchise. Yeah.
Some people, are you talking about the Raiders?
Yeah, I'm about to say.
Exactly. Exactly.
Like that Spider-Man meme, like.
Yeah.
So and Machiavelli, man, Tom Monken said throwing for 4K with Baker. Man, Tom Monken, like he can put an offense together. I think that's why he was a decent aim in the last year's head coaching cycle, but it's just weird that his name randomly came out of nowhere in this cycle late. So, but we're going to talk about Todd Monken in just a second. So, what up, Frank? What's going on, man? Let's go to the next one real quick. We're going to switch it over. All right. So, McDermott, gone, fired out of the Bills. All right. Guys, let me know what your thoughts on McDermott because he technically is still out there. I think I did see reports that he basically is going to take a year off, kind of like a Tomlin situation.
Yeah.
But McDermott, fired, gone. One thing that I did start to hear and basically it kind of hit social media pretty hard is just how upset those players were in that locker room, which is kind of wild. So, guys, let me know what your thoughts are on McDermott. Obviously, if things kind of turn left on us in the last part of this head coaching cycle, if something weird happens, question is would you consider McDermott if he was willing to potentially put his name in the hat? So, Severe, man, I'll throw it to you first this time. Thoughts on McDermott? Obviously, Bill's just getting rid of him, and then maybe an option, again, if things go left on us with this head coaching hire.
McDermott, I mean, I really don't have a whole bunch of interest in him. I can see why people would because they've had success up there in Buffalo. But Sean McDermott is a defensive coach. They've been losing because they can't stop nobody. You feel me? So it's not like you can't be like a defensive coach and y'all can't stop nobody, bro. Like you feel like I could see if he was, the blame is because then Josh Allen don't got no weapons. That's true, but they can't stop nobody. You say it don't matter if you had weapons or not. If you can't stop a nosebleed, bro. So it's like I'm cool on McDermott. I speculated early in the year that if the Bills didn't do something, he was gonna be out of there. And people at the time poo-pooed it and I don't think that. And it's like, bro, you can only get so many chances, And once I saw in the playoffs, Josh Allen's kryptonites weren't there. Yeah. Lamar wasn't there.
Yeah, this was
Patrick Mahomes wasn't there. Joe Burrow not there, and you still don't advance. Yeah. In the possibly the easiest time you ever gonna get. You got second year Drake May, second year Bo Nix. You got CJ Stroud throwing the ball to everybody but a Texas uniform. Like you still can't somehow advance in the playoffs in that situation. Like, bro, you gotta go. You gotta go. I don't know where you ain't gotta go home. We just gotta get the hell up out of here.
God damn it. Real quick, Lazuno, what's going on? Sean would be great. DK McDermott, plan C. All right. And Jason, you're saying Shedeur Sanders is the Pro Bowl is legendary. That is wild. That is wild. Trust me. Definitely a popularity contest at this point. So, all right, Chris, man, thoughts on McDermott?
Yeah, for me, I wouldn't be mad at McDermott, to be honest. I think it just boils down to just my preference on what I'm looking for. I'm looking for a strong leader. I'm looking for someone that can kind of be the CEO type of coach that can set the tone, but let the coordinators do what they do. That's why I was real big on Harbaugh, and I did want the leadership of Flores as well, but. I'm just worried about, whoever coach we get just getting out coached by the other three coaches in our division. Not saying that McDermott is, up to par with anyone else in our division, but I think he could at least bring some structure, bring some stability, at least kind of get us on the right track, not make stupid decisions. But Severe makes some good points. I mean, if you are supposed to be a defensive minded coach, your defense better damn near be good. Your defense should not be the problem. If you don't have a top defense, that's one thing. But, for your defense really to be the Achilles heel of the team and you're a defensive guy, that is a problem.
It's a problem. I think I think the one thing that I'll basically take a look at with McDermott is the reaction that locker room did have for him. Yeah. Basically, given the fact that, a lot of guys were disappointed that he was left out the building, which is tough. You know what I'm saying? And so just the emotions that those guys poured out, it was good to see just him as a coach and the respect that he had in that locker room. Now, my only thing is if everything goes left on us, if all of a sudden these three candidates, even a Webb, like we're going to talk about Webb here in a second, but if My top 2 candidates, again, Clint Kubiak. If he goes left on us and decides to not take the job, he goes and maybe takes the Cardinals job. If Mike LaFleur goes left on us and takes another job or ends up staying back with the Rams, that's when I think McDermott might have to be on the table. And the only reason why I state that is because if you hire somebody today, you better hang on to that guy for a minimum of 3 years. Now, McDermott has enough experience to where I think you can pour at least some confidence that he can at least try to get us in the right direction. And you kind of cross your fingers and hope for the best at this point. But I don't know if there's anybody else truly, because again, we're going to talk about Webb and just kind of sneak peek on my take on it. I don't want Webb. I don't want him. I think he's too inexperienced. But I think McDermott would be a good option if his hat's if his name's in the hat. If both Clint Kubiak and Mike LaFleur go left on us, then I'm considering McDermott.
McDermott looks like he works for ICE on the weekends.
Hey, at least he's showing his face. All right, he's showing his face in the picture. So Mike Bell, you saying I'm cool with McDermott. Gaines, Flat, man, I appreciate you. I appreciate you gifting a bunch of memberships. Appreciate you throwing that out there, man. I appreciate that.
Oh, yeah, man, that's dope, man.
Yeah, shout out to you, man. Appreciate you. Troy Grill, I would bring him for an interview too. Pick his brain. Could be worth it, but at the same time, I think I heard and chat. Correct me if I'm wrong. I think I saw reports that he is going to be possibly sitting a year out. So, but we'll see kind of how that works. And shout out to one thing to go back to the memberships, whether it's on my channel, whether it's on Chris's or Severe's. We're going to break down game film in the off season. Kind of once we hire the head coach, we're going to start breaking down game film. I'm already clipping up Mendoza. We're going to take a look at Mendoza. But if you are a member, then you can throw out suggestions, and we're going to basically kind of put them in, prioritize the suggestions from the members. So that's one way that we're going to be able to kind of show our appreciation to the members is if you are a member, you throw out suggestions, we're going to definitely put those at the top of the list and prioritize them. So, but again, appreciate throwing out, man, all those memberships. It's awesome. Let's see. Okay. Got a couple more people. Pigs. What's going on in the building? McDermott would be a 3 out of 10 for me. All right. Fair enough. Let's see. Raider Hawaii, the owner, and GM to McDermott.
That did it. I'm sorry, yeah. I biased the chat against him.
Oh, I'm not even down below. Okay, so that's why all of a sudden, like 40 comments decided to come up in the chat. Raider Hawaii, the owner and GM through McDermott under the Stampede. All right, let's see.
Yeah, the GM was wild.
Hey, that GM interview was, or that with that press conference.
Yeah.
That was pretty wild. That was brutal.
Yeah.
That was brutal.
Yeah.
That was like a really good insight as to just kind of what that owner is like and maybe what McDermott had to deal with.
If I'm Keon, I want out of there.
No,
I want out of there, man. Y'all don't want me? All right.
Unless if Kubiak curves us for the Cardinals, we might as well board up the doors in Allegiant and call it a day.
Hey, get some 2x4s ready, brother.
It's got something else for it. Let's see. Jar Jader, what's going on? Appreciate you pulling up with us. Isaiah, I don't really care about McDermott. All right.
Care for McDermott.
Yeah. Pigs, Buffalo lost games. They ought to have won during the regular season. That's on the coaching given the roster. Got it. All right. Good insight in that one. We can wingman Mike McDermott and Mendoza.
They have the best roster, though. I mean,
look, if that's what you're banking on turning the bus around, bro, you might as well get off at the next stop because Mike McDaniels is official with the Chargers. Stop requested.
Oh, man. All right, Alex, it's a bit off topic, but I would absolutely take Keon Coleman if the price was right.
I would too.
Yeah, I would too. He's better than every receiver got on our roster.
Yeah, I liked him coming out of college, man.
Yeah, at Florida State, he was the coach.
So I think he started to turn on a little bit towards the tail end of this season, but
he struggled. He struggled.
That's where I thought Keon Coleman was going to be good. I thought it was a great spot for him to go to with Josh Allen. I'm like, okay, I think this kid could be a top receiver in that draft class. Didn't really pan out. Again, if whenever I can kind of point back and go if I was wrong or not, I think my assessment of that was wrong. Got to see how it plays out. But man, I thought he was going to flash more than he did.
Yeah, me too.
Coming out of Florida State.
Me too.
I don't know.
Go Bay.
I don't know if this is a good thing or a bad thing.
Oh, God.
It could be both. It could be both. I don't know.
Oh man, yeah.
Man.
Man.
Yeah,
You're on your own, Cobain. You're on your own,
Yeah.
big dog.
man.
Kubiak knows all about that, though. He
You're
knows
right.
all about that. Kubiak knows all about it.
What up, Jar? What's going on, man? Let's see.
Right.
LS, man, as an FSU guy, he was cold as fuck. I know, man. He showed out. It just hasn't really fully transferred as of yet. And we'll see. We'll see how he produces. Again, always got to give a rookie at least 3 years to really understand what they're going to do in the National Football League.
They had threw, oh boy, AD Mitchell. They had basically threw him under the bus, and he got up out of there and he started cooking.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Okay, so he was fired, and then we got Joe Brady. I know a lot of people were thinking about Joe Brady coming over here. A lot of people liked him. So, guys, let me know what your thoughts are. Again, we're going to kind of rip through some of his coaches, get to the top guys that are still basically reported to be tied to us. Obviously, the big three names for the most part. And so, let me know your thoughts on Joe Brady. Did you want to see him be potentially the head coach? But obviously, he's over with the Bills. Now he's got the job. Guys, let me know what your thoughts are on Joe Brady kind of getting that job. Chris, I'm going to throw it to you first this time.
Actually, Joe Brady's a guy that I was interested in, to be quite honest. To be honest, I was actually more interested in him than Kubiak. So, he's had some good offenses, of course. I mean, he knows how to deal with the young players. He had a hell of a run at LSU. When he was there with that offense, yeah. So, I've always kind of been a fan of him. So, to be honest, he's somebody that I would have liked. I think him in Buffalo, I think it just makes sense. Him and Josh Allen apparently have a good relationship, and probably be able to kind of unlock him a little bit more. So, salute to Bills for making that decision. I did like McDermott, but I understand why they went ahead and hired him.
Yeah, I'm with you.
LS is
I don't even know what that means. It's hilarious, though.
It's picturing it, and I just can't. I gotta take that off the screen. God damn it!
Rolled up. They got to be rolled up at the bottom,
though. Either rolled up or cut and frayed. You just never know. Jesus Christ, LS. All right, Severe thoughts on Joe Brady. Chad, let us know as well.
Yeah, man, I wasn't really like I was either or on Joe Brady. Like at the beginning of the year, he was like the hot girl in school,
right?
And like everybody, I don't know why people fell off of him because not like Buffalo struggled offensively. I think Josh Allen still did his thing. James Cook had a hell of a year.
Yeah,
they did what they could do with the perimeter weapons that they had. So I don't know why like the kind of sheen was kind of wore off of them, but. I wouldn't have minded him as our head coach. Like he's a guy that had success at the college level, actually came to the NFL. So it's not like a Matt Rule situation where he comes and he's immediately a head coach. This guy actually had some OC experience and he had some success at offensive coordinator as well. So I wouldn't have minded him, but Buffalo made the most sense for him. Him and Josh Allen have a close relationship. And once they got rid of McDermott, it was almost a foregone conclusion that it was going to be him.
Right.
I'm with you. It just made all the sense in the world. You get rid of McDermott. You promote Joe Brady. It just felt like that was going to be the immediate solution to that head coaching position, and it kind of played out. As it relates to Joe Brady, for me, I just didn't between the top two guys, the two offensive guys, between Clint Kubiak and Mike LaFleur. I preferred those guys because Joe Brady, again, just doesn't have a lot of experience in the NFL. I think this is only his third season as an offensive coordinator. And so I think 4 seasons total coaching the NFL. I think third season as potentially offensive coordinator. So again, lack of experience. I will take experience over a lot of the categories that I look into as a head coach. And so For me, he was third on the list. Just made all the sense in the world to go to Joe to go to the Buffalo Bills. We lost Chris. We'll see if he comes back. Joe pretty would need that SPF 300 in Vegas somewhat. Yes, he would. You go from Buffalo to over here. Yeah, that sun's gonna hit different for sure. Let's see. I think he's back. Bang, he's back. All right.
Yeah, my bad. No, what I was saying about Joe, he was I think he had about 5 or 6 years because he was with Carolina too as an OC.
Oh, was he there with Rule?
Yeah, he was. Yep.
Yeah, that's my bad.
Yeah.
You're right.
Yeah. So I think he's about 5 or 6 years.
But I think it's 3 years as an OC, right? So it's 3 years OC, but then he had about 5 years worth of total.
No, he was OC there too. He was OC in Carolina.
So, but 2 years for Buffalo and then the OC in Carolina. So 3 years total of OC experience.
Nah, he was with Carolina like 3 years.
Was he there all 3 years with Matt Rule? I don't remember how long Matt Rule got.
As the OC?
Yeah, hold on. Let me double check.
Let me double check that.
Yeah, oh yeah. So he was there. Okay, he was there 2 years with 20 and 21. Yep, he was there for 2 years with him. OC and then 3 years in Buffalo.
He went back to LSU.
Oh yeah, he went to back to LSU in 22, and then he came back to Buffalo in 23.
So how many years of OC experience total?
5.
5 years. Okay.
Yeah, I'm gonna say that's. I'll take that.
Okay, that's a little more. Okay, obviously a little more than I thought. All right. So good OC experience.
Actually, you know what? Well, hold on. You know what? It looked like he. You know what? I might be wrong. Because a couple of those years in Buffalo. Okay, I think he was a quarterback coach.
QB coach.
Yes. Okay, so he was a QB coach in Buffalo in 22, and then he was an interim OC in 20.
Yeah, they had the other guy. Who I forgot the other guy.
Dorsey.
Ken Dorsey. Yeah, Ken Dorsey. Yeah. They threw Ken Dorsey under the bus.
Yeah. Oh, they did. They threw
Ken Dorsey under the bus. That was McDermott. Look, that shit came right back around to that.
So yeah. But again, I just like the experience overall and the vast majority of coaching years with Kubiak and LaFleur. But
yeah, no, I feel that.
He's with Buffalo. Unless I'm surprised Shula isn't a head coach, or Chris Shula isn't a head coach with all these openings. It was a hot name. I'm surprised it hasn't been thrown around a little bit with 9. I think it was 9 or 10 total head coaching vacancies. I haven't heard anything why people aren't considering him severe. Have you heard anything?
I haven't heard anything. Chris Shula looks like the illegitimate love child of Ron Rivera to me.
Oh, shit. I know how you come up with this shit,
man.
Maybe. So, all right. Again, we're gonna try to rip through these a little bit. Next up, Robert Saleh. A lot of people liked him as a potential DC or a defensive-minded head coach. He's now over with Tennessee Titans. So, Severe, I'm gonna throw it to you first this time. Thoughts on Saleh? Chat. Let me know. Is Saleh somebody that you actually would have liked to see us possibly bring in for the head coach? Severe thoughts on Saleh?
That picture of Saleh, like a mother bird feeding your children. It's a wild picture. Could not have improved that picture. But nah, man, Saleh over there. I think he got Saleh and he got Dayball. That's a hell of a contender.
So that's going to be next on the list, right? Dayball as well. But yeah, go for it.
I mean, obviously, Tennessee, they just the year before this last one, they had the number 1 defense in the NFL, right? And you look at the guys they got over there. I think they still got LeJerry Sneed. They got Jeffrey Simmons. They got Arden Key still over there. So they got some guys over there on the defensive side of the ball. They had, like I said, they had like the number 1 defense just 2 years ago. So you put a guy like Saleh, who's known to lift the level of all the defenses he's been on. He just did it with San Fran when they were missing everybody.
So, injury riddled.
So you put him with the team that's already, inclined to be good defensively. Right. I think that's a great match already. And then all he had to do was take care of the offensive side of the ball. And as we're going to get to next, he's done that.
Yeah, man. Chris, thoughts on Saleh?
Yeah, man. He was a guy I was high on, a high energy guy. Players love him. I think we all can agree he kind of got the raw deal, you know. But yeah, I've always been a fan of him. He was a guy that, I had my eye on. But I think the marriage between him and Dayball, and then having Cam Ward, I think that's going to just be a good situation for him once he gets some more weapons. So yeah, that's a good setup right there.
Pigs really like the idea. Saleh coming in last season over Pete, but less keen this cycle. He's a great fit with the Titans.
Yeah.
And shout out to you said Ryu. A lot of my friends are Rams fans. They say Shula is underperformed. He underperformed with the defense he had. Just has the name.
I agree. That defense got some dogs over there, man.
Yeah, they do.
They got some dogs,
especially that front four.
Right. You kind of look toward the tail end of the season. It's like you never thought Carolina was going to get that close.
Right.
To kind of playing them. You know what I'm saying? Moving the football like they did. So kind of makes sense. Makes sense. So
that was Teteroa making plays when it mattered.
Good old T-Mac.
He was balling. He was.
Yeah. TK said Saleh was my first choice. Flores was close second. Those men are leaders.
I'm not mad at that.
Yeah. Yeah.
Jeff's Saleh and Dable is a combo I would have been cool with over here.
Yeah. All day.
I think that's where you look at that combo. It's a pretty nasty combo. You just never know. Like, is Dable going to potentially get a head coaching job in 3 years if that offense looked good with Cam Ward? And now it's trying to figure out, okay, Saleh, now you got to kind of rebuild your coaching staff. That's the only problem or concern that you have bringing a defensive-minded head coach. But for a second run for Saleh as a head coach, that's one hell of an offensive coordinator to bring in to kind of just help with building that side of the football. And so
for sure.
Can't be mad at it. It's pretty good.
And honestly, I think that's another thing we have to look at when we're thinking about who the head coach candidate is. Like, what kind of staff can they build? If you get like a rookie head coach, I mean, what kind of networking have they done to be able to get guys that want to come leave where they're at and come with them? And that's why, someone like that has more experience. That's why I'd be more keen for them. Whereas like Kubiak, I don't know who he's going to be able to bring. I mean, is he going to bring his brother? It's going to bring his brother. Then we got to go through that mess again. Like, I don't know, man. I don't know.
So that's why we're going to talk about definitely Kubiak here in just a second.
Right.
Because that is a big question, right? Who is he going to be able to bring in?
Right.
So we'll definitely bring that question up. Troy Gill, you're saying Shula didn't do good in one of the interviews. That's the rumor. Okay. Jen Slinger, what's going on, man? Saleh Dable is a home run for Tennessee. Can't be mad at it.
Combo, man. It's a hell of a combo.
Oh, yeah. I like that. I like that a lot.
I love Fisk and Verse coming out. They're solid throughout the defense, man. Braden Fisk was my number one D tackle that year.
That was my guy.
And they're both Florida State guys, too, right?
No. Yep, both of them.
They were. Yeah.
And that was a pretty wild move that Sean McVay did, where I think he had Jared Verse call, I think, Braden Fisk to let him know that they were going to take him in the draft. And you got that footage of those guys on a phone call knowing that they're going to team up again, which that was actually that's a cool moment. Jeff Dable would make AOC the man.
Jeff, calm down. Calm down. Calm down.
Now, I will say, if we went defensive minded, Saleh was definitely up there on the list. And it kind of goes to what I think, Chris, you were saying is he's got so much experience in the National Football League as a coach.
Yeah.
His Rolodex, his contacts can go deep.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? And so he's going to know and understand even names that don't even appear on anybody's list. He's going to know like how much we like Rob Leonard, right? Well, Rob Leonard kind of showed some things, and we know that as Raider fans. He's going to know that amongst damn near all 31 other teams.
Yeah.
So he's going to be able to call some people to kind of get some connections. And so, again, that's why I also like Brian Flores. Brian Flores also kind of has that experience. So if we went defensive minded, Brian Flores, Robert Saleh, we're definitely high on my list. D. Hatman, what's going on? You said Saleh was shit as a head coach.
This is Jets, though.
It's the Jets. I'm like, I don't know. I'm not going to judge him based off of what was it? 1 year? 1 year? Well, 1
1 and a half,
years?
like 1.5.
1.5.
Or no, maybe like
he was
2.5.
like three. It was two with Zach Wilson, and then one with Aaron.
But I feel like they were still playing with like, I mean, they didn't have all the pieces, but I feel like they were still playing inspired football. Like they were still getting after it. They just didn't have it.
They just didn't have it. When Zach Wilson wasn't the quarterback, and Aaron Rodgers wasn't the quarterback, they played all right.
Yeah.
But Aaron Rodgers got hurt though. They brought him in, he got hurt. So we weren't even able to see kind of how that would have turned out.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And so I think that's where it makes it difficult, is at least for him. And look, his first stint, it didn't work out. Growing pains as a first-time head coach, right? Mm-hmm. And that's why for me, it would have been what I preferred. The reason why I like Brian Flores over Robert Saleh was that it's always good, or at least I feel like it's good, for a coach to kind of be away from the head coaching job for at least 2-3 years after you get fired. Gives you time to reflect, gives you time to kind of learn from the mistakes and be able to understand how am I going to address it the next time I get an opportunity. And so him jumping kind of almost right into it, we'll see kind of how it plays out, but bring on Brian Daboll as your OC. I think that's definitely going to help. Jen Slinger. And when your OC and DC get poached, you get a nice third round in return. Keep that assembly line rolling. That is true. That is true. Why the Raiders may have to guarantee Kubiak minimum 3 years, no fire clause. We're going to talk about Kubiak, but I hope that whoever we bring in, it doesn't matter if there's a clause or not, we keep him for a minimum of 3 years. We have to, whether I like him or not. I think we got to do that. Severe, any thoughts on that?
Yeah, I mean, you can't. We like literally cannot fire another guy early. Like
yeah.
We joked about earlier. Todd Monken told us I'm good and went to the Browns. Right? Like that's how bad it was. Saleh's with the Titans. Saleh, we offered Saleh the chance to be the highest paid defensive coordinator and be the coach in waiting behind Pete Carroll. And he said, "You know what? I'm straight. I'll go back over to the 49ers and take my chances over there." Like that's how bad we are in these coaching circles. So it's not a good look for us right now. So we cannot fire another guy early.
Yeah, Severe thoughts or Chris, thoughts on that? Basically giving that coach minimum at least 3 years.
I mean, we, like you said, we have to, because we're already getting that reputation anyway. And to be honest, and I'm sure that's why Kubiak was kind of dragging his feet to even take this second interview with us. Because again, you know, I was talking earlier to Severe and them, think about Kubiak, think about who his dad is, think about who his dad's mentor is. I'm sure neither one of them have high, you know, regards for the Raider organization. I mean, we still owe Shanahan money to this day, you know, to this day, you know what I'm saying? So it's like, honestly, I wouldn't be surprised if his dad and Mike is in his ear, like, man, you know, stay in your situation, Seahawks, and wait till a better opportunity comes up, man. It's like this Raiders job, like everyone laughs about, you know, how we treated these coaches in the past, man. But these guys remember it, man. They remember it, and you know they're not running to our position, man.
Clint's on the phone with Kyle Shanahan, and Mike is in the back like, "Tell him I want my $250K."
So I don't know where I heard it. I heard rumors that Mark Davis actually paid him his money in the last handful of years.
Mark Davis, it may be, because remember there was a
I heard
time
rumor,
when, like,
but I don't know.
That's when we got rid of what's the announcer, Greg Papa, because Greg Papa was like, "Oh, Al Davis wouldn't stand for this," because that's when we were talking to Mike Shanahan about possibly being involved with the organization, and then Greg Papa got the chirping about, you know, Al Davis not being able to stand for that. But Mark is mending all those fences that Al Davis burnt down, all the bridges that Al Davis burnt down, whether it was Marcus Allen, Charles Woodson,
Marcus Allen,
you know, Mike Shanahan, like he's mending all those fences. He's mending all those fences. So, you know, like he
could have.
John Gruden is another one. So he You repairing out the relationship. So maybe Mark slid him a little, hey, we got you, dog. Hey.
Yeah, we got you, man.
Because look, you don't want to have, because whatever you think about Mike Shanahan, his son and his son's coaching tree, you want to be able to have access to those guys. So if Mike Shanahan's still over there looking at his ledger, like, yeah, right, bro, I need that bread,
right?
So,
Money Chuck, no, he didn't. Not with us, at least this time, and he refused us last year. So last coaching cycle. So not this time. I think his name just kind of popped up out of nowhere. But we're going to talk about Monken here in just a second. Okay, let's go to the next one. All right, Steelers go ahead, and they got Mike McCarthy. I think this was an interesting hire. In my opinion, actually, I think it makes sense. To be honest, but I definitely want to get everybody's feedback on this one. Chat, let me know what your thoughts are on Mike McCarthy going to the Pittsburgh Steelers. Do you like it? Do you think it's a good fit? Do you think he's an absolutely fail? Let me know in the comments. So, Chris, I'll throw it to you first this time. Thoughts on Mike McCarthy over the Steelers?
Yeah, I didn't see that coming, honestly. I'm not gonna lie. I feel like we didn't even know that he even interviewed. It seems like it just seemed like they just hired him. But I was surprised, honestly. That was actually a place I thought that Flores would have landed.
Yeah.
It just doesn't make sense. But I don't know. I don't know if that was their way. They wanted to keep Aaron happy. I don't know. I guess you could say that he's been around, so he's been able to kind of develop some young quarterbacks, maybe. But I don't know. I was just surprised with that one, to be quite honest. I mean, he had a good run, in the Packers. We all know kind of how the Cowboys gig went, but yeah, I was just overly shocked at that one. I thought that they kind of swung on a miss right there, so that was surprising for me.
Yeah, LS. If I was a Steelers fan, I'd be so excited for next April. SoCal McCarthy will be fired by year 2.
See, but I don't know, because now you talking about a patient organization.
Exactly.
Yeah, they're not the type that's gonna. Yeah,
he might be there for the next 18 years.
That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. They're not the ones that just cut ties like that. I mean,
what is it? 3 coaches
since the 60s.
Since the 60s.
Yeah, that's what
we've
I'm saying.
Had 3 since 2022.
right.
Yeah.
Right.
That's crazy.
Like, it's kids that started high school and they ain't graduated, and we've been through 3. Like, think about that. Your freshman year, you got one coach, and you a junior going into a senior year, and you on your. Come on, man.
I'm with you, man. Severe thoughts on McCarthy.
That was a surprise for me too. It's a surprise. It makes sense because they're not here for the growing pains. They're not here for the learn on the job stuff. They're not here for the let's see what you can do and figure it out. Say what you want about Mike McCarthy. He had Dak balling when Dak was healthy. Dak had that 5,000 yard season. Like Dak was cooking. Dak was cooking. And he did some things with Aaron. Now the relationship with Aaron and him, from what I heard, with Green Bay, I heard it was frosty, and then Aaron was the one that kind of orchestrated his ouster, and that's when they brought in Matt LaFleur. That's what my impression was. Now maybe those, time heals all wounds, so maybe since then Aaron has learned to appreciate what Mike McCarthy did with him and the Packers organization. But I had heard that their relationship wasn't good, and if the Steelers, they plan on winning immediately, there's not a veteran quarterback out there that's going to really take them to the promised land or give them a better chance than Aaron Rodgers at this point in time. So if they're looking to win now, and that's why they hired Mike McCarthy, then Aaron Rodgers makes the most sense. So I would think that their relationship has improved over time. But yeah, it was a surprise. But looking at it holistically, it makes sense.
Yeah, and plus, one thing with McCarthy is like we don't know how that relationship with him and Jerry, how Jerry's always meddling and stuff like that. Where we know, over in Pittsburgh, they're gonna let McCarthy cook. They're gonna trust him. They're gonna hold him accountable, but they're gonna let him cook. They're gonna stay out of his business and let him rock. So, I mean, it could be a good opportunity for him. To be honest, I was just totally shocked.
Unless he said, didn't Aaron say The only way he goes again is if McCarthy ends up the head coach. I haven't heard anything like that. You guys hear that at all?
Nah, I didn't hear that.
Mm-mm. But Aaron had to, with as crazy as it sounds, he had to give the green light on that.
Yeah,
I would assume. Well, I mean, because the Steelers, they signed him for 1 year, or is he still under contract? Was it a 2 year?
He might still be under contract.
I don't know what his contract looked like.
I don't know if he's on. Yeah, I think it's really retirement, or it's the retirement of the Steelers for Aaron.
Mm.
Yeah, Raider Way. Are you guys? And he says, surprised. Are you guys surprised Pete Carroll hasn't had a bunch of interview requests?
I know, like, right? Surprising, right?
Surprising. But Ken McCarthy has an all-time run though. Green Bay, Dallas, Pitt, not bad. All historic franchises.
No, for sure.
He has been
with
a lot of good franchises.
Nice.
God, I read on Instagram, didn't hear Aaron say it. I was surprised, but I wasn't. But it, in all honesty, because of the way that the Steelers work, to me, it felt like it made sense. It made sense. He's still young enough. I mean, he could, if it works out and you give him the reins, this is going to be the first time since Green Bay, maybe, that Mike McCarthy has just been given the driver's seat and you do you. If it works, it works. Obviously, whatever he did with the Cowboys, you got to deal with Jerry Jones, and that's
right.
that's tough in itself.
Yeah. Right.
So to understand what Mike McCarthy can do and the type of head coach that he is, I think he's going to be given the reins to do what he needs to do, and he's going to be able to dictate any success that he has over there. And the Steelers organization is good enough to kind of let him kind of dictate his future. And they're going to give him all the chance in the world. So as much as it was interesting to see his name kind of pop up out of nowhere, at the same time, I'm sitting there going, damn, like this is probably like the best spot for him. And so I'm really interested to see just kind of how he works over there with just that offense. And a lot of people have talked about, I know a lot of people weren't high on Howard, the quarterback, the Ohio State quarterback from last year.
Will Howard.
Will Howard. So it's going to be interesting to see just how does Mike McCarthy like him.
Yeah.
Right.
So he took the job. You might like him.
That's a lot of pressure on Mike McCarthy, though, because since Mike Tomlin took the job 20 years ago, they've never finished under 500.
Right.
Bro,
right.
If you don't go out there and win at least 9 games, dog.
This year.
This year.
Yeah.
If you don't win 9 games this year, oh, brother, you could be a world of hurt.
That's a fact.
A world of hurt.
And I think that's what is so. I know we've talked about it before with Tomlin. I think one of the things that hurt Tomlin was that he always hit 500. Yeah. He never had at least 1 or 2 seasons where they won like 3 or 4 games, and now you can hit the reset button and you can actually go get a quarterback with a top 5 pick.
Yeah. Right.
He never put himself in that situation, and so you never got an opportunity to just get a young quarterback, groom the way that a lot of teams like to do, and have a decent quarterback on a 5-year contract.
Right.
With a 5th-year option.
Right. I mean, you think about all the coaches, Andy Reid was able to, during his time, he was able to get, Patrick Mahomes. He had he got him at 9 or something. Yeah, and I think when he first started,
they had Alex Smith, I think.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. But regardless, it's like all these other coaches, they always get a chance to, get their guy, where Tomlin that shows how great that organization drafted. Like, they were able to draft in the middle, in the end of the round, and still get solid guys and be able to develop like that. That's an overrated or undervalued trait right there.
Yeah, because you think about it, like you think about stars that they've had recently. They haven't had like super big, like TJ. I guess TJ will be the guy.
Yeah, TJ.
Like, super big stars, like. What was it, like TJ? Did you say Cam Hayward? Not really.
Yeah.
I mean, he's a super big star. He's a really good player.
He was a star for a while there.
But
when he was young,
and then who else? Who else? Devin Bush was a 1st-round pick. Who they got over there really? Like Highsmith, he's a late-round guy. Like they do, like Mike Tomlin was doing that. Yeah. Mike Tomlin was over there being MacGyver.
Right. That's what I'm saying.
He won 500 with Mason Rudolph.
That's what I'm saying,
bro.
That's what I'm saying.
Hey, bro, put some respect on his man.
Because I think I read the lowest pick he's had was like 16. I think that was the lowest he's had.
Shit.
I'm like,
Bro.
dog, we can't even hit on number 6.
Exactly.
Let alone, you know what I'm saying? Let alone 16.
Or
Shit.
7.
Wait for number 1. Just wait for number 1. Here we go. Don't do that. Goddamn it. Don't do that. My kids might be watching. I'm going to hear it in the other room. That's what's going to happen. Oh, shit. What up, Leo? What's going on, man? Appreciate you rocking with us. What's happening, guys? Make sure you guys tap into Leo and Jeff's show today at 7 o'clock Pacific time. They got a show, man. Definitely tap into that one. Appreciate you rocking with us. Brady Pete in the building as well. What's going on, man? Rundown. What's happening, man? Rundown. I got to get with you, and I think
rundown in the building.
You're not going to get with rundown in person.
No.
Don't even think about it. Don't even think about it.
Yeah.
You will see LS. You'll see LS before you see rundown. Just
Max,
believe it.
You done seen them Afakasi multiple times.
No, multiple times. Oh man, no, I can't get into the AI stream, but hey, over this content creator, I gotta get with you and I think Jason Downs. We got to talk about Mendoza, man. We definitely got to talk about that. Let's link that up.
Oh yeah.
Hey, and he also wants to. In fact, we need to have him join us for a film breakdown of Jack Besh. He wants to join us.
Oh, Jack Besh. Okay, we can do that too.
We got to put him in there.
I got all my clips still saved.
I told him. That's what I'm saying. I told him you already got them.
I don't delete them.
Man. He was asking. He's like, yeah, man, I want to get some. I was like, are you sure?
That may not be what. Yeah, that may not be what you want, man. That may not be what you want.
That may not be what you want.
It'll be fun. It'll be fun. All right. So we talked about
because Rundown's going to go through your servers.
Exactly right. AI Rundown's going to get me. You're going to get me. Appreciate it, buddy. All right. We're just ripping through some of the early head coaching news over the last few days. We're about to just jump into the recent news. But we definitely get you guys feedback on it. We appreciate everybody that's rocking out with us. We got over 300 in the building. Make sure you guys double tap that screen, hit the like button. You got Chris Textual Podcast over here. Got the Severe Raider. I'm 805 Raider, Real Talk Raider Nation. We hit you guys on Wednesdays and on Sundays, and we're going to break down game film. Not only the upcoming draft prospects, but we're also going to break down game film on some of the free agents. We're just going to try to see who that head coach is first before we really start dipping into those things. And so we also do a sub-only chat. So if you guys want to get included in the chat, hit that sub button, just something we do for all of our subscribers. We definitely appreciate it. And we're about to get in the heart of some of the head coaching news, so definitely tap in with that.
One thing we didn't mention was that Mike McCarthy, he's already addressing the defensive side of the ball with Patrick Graham as defensive coordinator.
Oh, yeah? Because we can talk about it right now if you want.
Okay. Yeah.
We can talk about it right now. We can line this thing up right quick. Rundown's the shadow. Rundown's hey. We're gonna find him one day. We're gonna find him. But the hard problem is if Leo can't find him, I don't know if we're gonna find him. But
Leo lives down the street from Rundown. He ain't never met
exactly.
Leo was like, I want to say this is kind of cool, but like T.O. and T.O.'s dad.
It's gonna be fun.
Story though, but
it's so cal. About 30 seconds of film on Besh.
You don't know about T.O. and his dad. You guys look that up. It's messed up, but it's Dust Leo Rundown.
That's gonna be fun. Jesus Christ, Leo! I've seen a salute to Indonesia. That like PTS. I like it. C-Pole throwing that out there, man. Appreciate you. Mark Davis looks like he smells like okay. Damn, I gotta censor it first.
I cannot deny that.
Oh man, appreciate you throwing a super chat out there, brother. God damn. Okay, all right, here we go. Patrick Graham. Chat, let us know what your thoughts are on Patrick Graham. Obviously, he's been with us for I think 4 seasons, 4 or 5 seasons.
Yeah, 4.
You know, last year of his contract was last year. A lot of people were just kind of contemplating was he going to come back. A lot of people said, "Hey, good riddance, get the hell out of here." A lot of people are like, "Hey, wouldn't mind if he came back." And so, chat, let me know what your thoughts are. Patrick Graham, he is now with the Steelers, linking up with Michael McCarthy. Severe, I'm going to throw it to you first this time, man. Thoughts on Patrick Graham?
I'm happy for Patrick Graham, man. Get a nice change of scenery over there with the organization. You know that drafts well traditionally. I think they have a solid base of talent. You know, you got TJ Watt, obviously. You know, I don't know what they're going to do with Hayward now that Tomlin is gone, but we know the Steelers traditionally they invest on the defensive side of the ball, and we know that they're going to give. And Mike McCarthy is traditionally giving his defensive guys a lot of leeway, and they've had some success. I forget who was the guy that Joe Witt was. It Joe Witt Jr. Did he have over there? With the Cowboys, I know he had the other DB coach that a lot of people liked. Whose name escapes me, that was getting some head coaching consideration. So he's had some guys over there on the defense side of the ball that at the beginning some looks at head coach around the league. So I think that he's going to do well, man. And just for him to finally get out of the shadow of the Raiders organization, I know he's been over regime after regime has kept him here. Dayball wanted to bring him back in New York, and he elected to link up with Josh McDaniels and come here instead. It's a decision he might be regretting nowadays. But I think he'll do well there, and I think having a head coach like Mike McCarthy out there, I think that would be a good combination.
Yeah, man. Some people, they're kind of tapping in with this. Pick's basically amazing for PG. Big expectations for him with the Steelers. Jeff, don't let the door hit you on the way out. I know Jeff is all about just get everybody that's tied to the previous coaching staff, get them out the building.
I'm not mad at that at all.
Yeah. Seven Sons, what's going on? Get Jim Schwartz. We're going to talk about that because we're also going to talk about
Shaolin Monk.
Yeah. Todd Monken. We're going to talk about that in just a second. So I'm sure we'll tie that in with that as well. SoCal, not piss, maybe onion. Willie Wayne, time for a new defense. What up, all eyes? Let's see. Cool, Kevin. We're going to talk about Jim Schwartz here in just a second. TK, wish him the best of luck. He did the best he could with what we had. I ain't mad at him. Let's see. Red or white? I'm going with him.
We gave Tyree Wilson in the first round. Come on, yeah.
I'm going to give you my thoughts on that too.
Damon Arnett. That wasn't him, though. That
wasn't him.
No, that was him.
I'm good with moving on and maybe gets to run his defense with no strings. Let's see. LS. Y'all going to miss Patrick Graham when Kubiak brings Paul. Don't even put that out there. God damn it, LS.
He is in Vegas, isn't he? Yeah, he's at UNLV, right?
Yeah,
I think he's at UNLV. Yeah.
Oh my God.
Don't do that, LS. See, I got to screen his. See,
can't stop nobody. So
he nasty.
Alec, you still need to cover the middle of the field, Patrick Graham. Leo PG has been like MacGyver with with players he had to work with. Got it. I said I saw played. I was like, damn. Rick, good luck to Graham. Okay. So, Chris, thoughts on PG, man?
Yeah, man. I'm salute to him. Hope he has some success. I wasn't the biggest Graham guy. To me, he was just mid. But I will say, I think he tried to make the most of what he got. I mean, I think for a while there he was getting some of those guys going in the right direction. But then he lost like Merrick and guys like that he was starting to kind of develop a little bit. Got
Chason.
Yeah, Chason, and he actually got some good stuff out of Spillane and who we had before Spillane. The dude at the Chargers.
Denzel Perryman.
Yeah, I think he had Perryman. Yeah, Perryman playing good. I think he was there. Was he there with Perryman?
Yeah, oh no.
Perryman. Who was
Perryman
before?
was with Gus Bradley.
That was before.
And then who was with who's our decent linebacker after Perryman? Did we have someone that was decent? Was it Spillane?
That was Spillane.
This Spillane.
Okay.
Yeah, that was Spillane.
So PG must have brought him over then. So PG brought him over?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, did he? Okay. Okay, so Josh McDaniel, okay, yeah, because they brought in AP. Okay, yeah, you're right. So yeah. So I mean, like I said, I think if PG gets a chance to, really do his thing and not have to listen to a old coach and be able to kind of continue to develop his players, he might be okay. Because honestly, I think Kuntz was getting ready to turn the corner. Then he got hurt. So I think that was going to be a big year. And then you had like the Christian Wilkins situation. You have the Chandler Jones situation. Like he honestly had a lot of bad luck if you really think about it.
Yeah.
He did.
He had some bad luck.
Terrible luck.
Yeah, like it could have went a lot different. So yeah, so salute to PG, man. I just think a different environment, he'll probably be better for him.
I'm with you. Like when we hired him on, I went back and I watched his defensive schemes with the New York Giants, and he did a really good job with not a lot of talent over there with the New York Giants, right? And you can tell he's versatile. And so when he came over here, look, I have my issues with Patrick Graham. Don't get me wrong. I think one of the biggest issues I had with him was he was soft on third downs, and a lot of times he allowed the offense to score on their opening drive. And when your offenses aren't very good, you really got to be able to kind of stabilize their offense to start the game. And too many times we let offenses just drive down and get 7 points or 3 points to start the game. And it was just something like, it's like, man, you got to get out that habit, right? Yeah. So I definitely have my issues with Patrick Graham, but I really don't think we allowed Patrick Graham to really form his defense. When you have so many change up on head coaches, those head coaches want to put their stamp on the defense. Yeah. You look at what Pete Carroll did. Pete Carroll wanted to be a cover 3 guy. And so what did he do? He went and got cover 3 defensive backs. Like he wanted to run that defense. And so Patrick Graham had to do it. And Chris, you're pointing out all the things, whether it be Chandler Jones, Christian Wilkins, right? Malcolm Kuntz gets hurt 2 years ago. We also went bargain shopping this year with the defense. I mean, we probably had the cheapest linebacker group in all the national football. I mean, you let Caleb on Chason walk, and you go with Malcolm Kuntz, right? And we actually see Charles Snowden do some decent things. I mean, you'd never let Patrick Graham kind of mold the defense the way he wanted to. He had to always kind of mold to the next scheme, and you never allowed him to have at least 2 off seasons to kind of get the free agents that the free agents or even draft picks to kind of mold the defense he wanted.
Yeah.
And so,
oh, go ahead.
So for me, I think a new start, a fresh scene, I think will be really good for Patrick Graham. Going to the Steelers, I think will be good for him. So again, like I think both you guys have said, I wish him all the luck as long as we're not playing him.
I had to check this out because I had to see exactly. It was like, bro, I'm Patrick Graham is like, remember Forrest Gump? He's like, I wish I could be a bird and fly far, far away. That's Patrick Graham with the Raiders. Listen to this cast of characters that the Raiders had. You said, let's look at linebacker. His first year here. These were his linebackers. Curtis Bolton. Darian Butler.
Yeah.
Luke Masterson.
Ooh.
Harvey Lange.
Former safety.
That was his linebacker crew. Come on, dog.
It was nasty.
Look at his quarterbacks. Tyler Hall. Sidney Jones, Amik Robertson, Sam Webb. Come on, bro.
Yeah.
You set this man up for failure.
Yeah.
You set this man up for failure. Anthony Averett. You set this man up for failure, bro.
Bro. They are all in the UFL right now.
All in the UFL.
About to play now.
And I think that you look back and you go, when you continuously have a revolving door of head coaches, you're constantly going to let guys go and bring new guys in. And so one of the worst things they could have done for him last year was let Spillane go. Spillane was your green dot guy. Spillane was the guy that could be the captain of the defense to help kind of teach the rest of the defensive players around him. Like he could have been that captain on the defense, and you let him go. I mean, it was literally just a revolving door of not just head coaches, but a revolving door of players. And Patrick Graham had to constantly start from scratch every single year with bargain shopping at every single position group. And so, again, I had my concerns. There was a lot of times where I wasn't happy with Patrick Graham, but at the same time, severe to your point of what you just kind of wrapped off, look at what he had to work with. And I think we all can agree, we went bargain shopping for 90%, 95% of the defense every single season for this guy outside of Max and Christian Wilkins. But then what happens to Christian Wilkins? He gets hurt, and then locker room stuff happens. Right? So it's just, you know what I'm saying?
They Bill Cosby that man. He tried to buy CBS and they Bill Cosby.
Oh man.
Oh man. So again, not to say that he was great, and I don't think anybody's saying that he's great, but I think a change of scenery and giving him a platform that's going to allow him to build it the way that he potentially wants to,
For sure.
I think is going to be good for him.
For sure.
Yeah.
You know, Ellis saying Giants fans, we're happy to see the back end when we left New York.
Giants fans, I was like they loved him. They just felt it was time for a change of scenery.
Yeah,
they had Joe Judge. They didn't want anything. They didn't want anybody that had anything to do with Joe Judge. It wasn't a Patrick Graham thing. It was
right,
a Joe Judge thing.
Right.
It was. So, okay, now we're gonna get into kind of the heart of some of the news that's been going down. We're gonna go next up. Todd Monken. Todd Monken comes out of nowhere and gets hired by the Cleveland Browns. Guys, let me know your thoughts. Chat, let me know your thoughts on Todd Monken. We appreciate everybody. We have almost 500 in the building. Do us a huge favor. Hit that like button. Double tap that screen. You got Chris Protect Show podcast over here. You got The Severe Raider. I'm 805 Raider, Real Talk Raider Nation. Again, we hit you guys on Wednesdays and on Sundays, and we're going to be breaking down a lot of game film in this offseason, leading up to free agency as well as leading up to the draft. But we're definitely going to figure out who our head coach is first. We definitely appreciate y'all. Severe, I'm going to throw it to you first, man. Chat, let me know your thoughts on Todd Monken. What's your thoughts, man?
Oh, man. Todd Monken look like he got to stay 100 feet away from his school. Oh, man. That sweater looks like it smells like pipe tobacco. Like the pipe. Man. But no, seriously though, man.
But he's 10 years younger than Pete Carroll, mind you. Just to throw it out there. Just to throw it out there.
My God. He did not grow. He had a rough life. He had a rough life. Exactly.
Got one of these.
Hey, exactly. Yeah. Man, my guy Tom, I think that's a solid hire for them. Just offensively, I think you want to. He's good with tight ends, and depending on what they do with Njoku, for sure they got Fannin. We saw what he's able to do at Georgia with Bowers and with the other big kid they got that's in
Washington, Darnell.
In Washington. Yeah, Washington. Yeah, DeAndre Washington, right? He not a DeAndre Washington, something Washington. Darnell Washington.
Yeah, Darnell.
Yeah. He's with the Steelers, as a matter of fact. But so he does work with tight ends. Harold Fannin looks like he's gonna be a stud. He's pretty good in the running game. They got two running backs in Quinton Judkins and Sampson that look like they can be some guys. And then he got a defense already over there. And so, if they're, it's ironic, it's unfortunate and ironic for the Browns, because part of the reasons why so many coaches X them off of their list is because they were dead set on Jim Schwartz being the defensive coordinator. And then they finally found a coach who was like, oh, man, I am perfectly fine with Jim Schwartz staying on as defensive coordinator. And as soon as they hired Todd Monken, Jim Schwartz was like, F everybody in Cleveland. I'm gone. So that's going to be a weird dynamic. If they're able to mend those fences and if he's able to bring Jim Schwartz back, I think that is a heck of a combination. And you got a guy in Jim Schwartz that has super experience, not only as a coordinator, but, as a head coach as well. Obviously, he strikes fear into the heart of hardballs everywhere.
Oh, here we go.
And,
here we go.
Todd Monken just lost his job because of hardball. So I think those guys I think that would be a great combination right there. So we'll see. But I think that's a solid hire. Obviously, I'm sure Cleveland fans are pissed about it because, they would have wanted somebody younger. But, I'm not mad at that hire for them.
Yeah, what up, Jay? What's going on, brother? Appreciate you popping in. Jay's going to be on there with the rest of the guys at 7 o'clock Pacific time, so definitely check in with that show. Bart Monken. Who cares? He must be cold in Vegas 8 to 5 his sleeves. Hey, always on the lives, damn it, Cheeto. Always on the lives. Maybe not out in public. So, Chris, thoughts? Chat, let me know what your thoughts on Monken. I'm kind of going through it. Let's see. JD saying better than I thought the Browns were going to get, but nothing to worry about. Gabe, I think all these coaches is a joke. We're gonna get into some of the other names, so stick around. We'll definitely get your take on that. Chris, thoughts on Monken?
To me, it's crazy, man. It's crazy. I don't know about you, but maybe it's just because I live here, but like I had to tune in to the Cleveland Browns Twitter after they hired him, and it was just hilarious. People were just so pissed off, that they got him. Oh yeah, they were hot. They were hot. And then especially like Severe said, I mean, the owner basically said like, hey, if you're going to be the head coach here, you got to keep Schwartz. That's just part of the deal. And my thing, and I was telling everybody, I'm like, I swear, I thought that they were just going to offer Schwartz the position. Just makes the most sense.
Yeah.
Because a couple years ago, he said he wanted to be a head coach again, and I think he's earned it. I know a lot of people kind of think about his time at in Detroit. With he had some struggles, but again, it's Detroit. So, but for what he did with that, for what he did with that Cleveland Browns defense, I mean, he got the most out of those guys. The guys love playing for him. He has that toughness about him, except when Harbaugh checks his temperature. Besides that, Schwartz is he's a dog, man. So, Monken, again, I just everywhere that he was at OC, the year that he left, that next year, that team's offense got significantly better. Whether it's, when he was with the Buccaneers, he left, Bruce Arians and them took over, that offense got
That's Bruce Arians though.
Yeah, but still, I'm just saying, I mean, but it wasn't just up by a little bit, it was a lot. So, and then even when he was in Cleveland the first time, I think they were pretty bad because he was under Freddie Kitchens. And then he left, and then I think that's when Stefanski came and got them together. So like,
that's come on, man.
But that's what I'm saying. But that's what I'm saying. Is he head coach material though? Is he head coach material?
Look, the man leave. He got Freddie Kitchens as
hey man, I'm just saying. As soon as he leaves, man, the offenses get better, man. So, but no, but I do like Monken, just like Severe said, like what he did with the tight ends, because I was that's where I fell in love with Bowers at in Georgia, and I actually really liked Darnell Washington, because I actually wanted us to get him that year instead of in a Mayer. So he'll bring. See, the thing is, he's like Joe Biden's age, man, and has never been a head coach before. So it's like he's a rookie head coach, and he's old. So
Arians though, that was low-key was Arians.
No, that's true. But the thing is, he's never really had a good offense in the pros without Lamar, and you ain't gonna find another Lamar. So I don't know, man.
True.
I don't know.
Hey, look, they
got Pro Bowlers to do.
So, Chris, did anybody were they saying who they wanted?
Who?
Just on Twitter and everybody. Yeah.
I mean, their fan base kind of sounded like ours. They wanted, someone young, innovative. So, that I know they really wanted Mike McCarthy McDaniel for a while. They wanted Clint. So they wanted a name like that, just a young, innovative guy, and they got a old Joe Biden.
I think what's like just strange about this hire is that I don't know how many other coaches were truly tied to the Browns up to this point. I mean, it seemed like their list was pretty thin. Obviously, how many coaches want to actually go over there and coach? But it felt like their list was fairly thin. They weren't really going after anybody.
Yeah, he was their very first hire. So it was like, he was their very first interview. So like, if they wanted to like hire him, they could have did it long ago.
Yeah. Damn.
And now, to kind of to your point, like Monken, when we requested him to interview, and he refused it last year, right?
Yeah.
I wouldn't have been mad if we had Monken last year. Obviously, with just the things that he's been able to do with the offense and his history in the NFL, the experience that he had, I wouldn't have been upset at it. Again, another old coach, which would have been tough to kind of grow with, hoping that you hire on a head coach, you're going to have him for at least 15 plus years. You hope that's the case. That's not him, but for the Browns out of all the head coaches that were available in this cycle, you end up on him randomly. It just seems strange. It almost seemed like it was just a
their whole process. Yeah, their whole process was bad. And honestly, they were like the last team to even, be eligible or was satisfy the Rooney Rule. So like they couldn't even hire anyone until I forgot who they ended up bringing in, but they mismanaged that whole thing, man.
Yeah, you can't hire your own defensive coordinator. You gotta do some damn homework. Right. You got a class project to do. Like, anybody trying to write no essay? Like, what is this? What are you doing, man?
Yeah,
what are you doing, bro? I can see if this was like Miami, Los Angeles. Oh, okay, maybe I'll use ChatGPT and put together some BS essay for you.
Right.
I'm about to do this to work in minus 10-degree weather. And like, what is it? No, man.
Literally.
Eat tacos on Refugee Road, and I'm good.
Hold on, man. Do some fire tacos.
They're red or white, man. Honestly, if you're a coach, and I don't think with Shedeur being a 5th round draft pick, it's not going to put really much merit into whether or not you're gonna keep that job, because I don't know if you're going to be forced to have to use Shedeur. In all honesty,
Freddie Kitchens is the offensive coach. So is Todd Monken. So he didn't have the excuse where he had carte blanche. All that ass you seen from that offense in New Orleans, that was all Kubiak's ass, just being ass.
Let's see. All right, John Fallon. Let's see. Okay. All right. Just want to make sure I kind of get to some of the chats. Okay. All right. Monken. We're going to scratch that off. We got a couple more. I'm putting his name up here because we have 2 other head coaching names, right, that have been talked about. But for some reason, Mike LaFleur, he had his interview. All right. I think it was a virtual interview. I don't know if it was in person. But a second interview hasn't necessarily been requested just yet. Obviously, Severe, I know this is the guy that you want. Guys, chat, let me know if Mike LaFleur is top of your list. Obviously, coming from a great tree over there with McVay, as well as under Shanahan, had a stint over there. So let me know your thoughts on Mike LaFleur. So before I throw it to Severe so he can take the next 20 minutes, Chris, I'm going to ask you first, man. Thoughts on Mike LaFleur? Would you like to see him at least come in for at least a second interview?
Yeah, no, I would. Again, I think he comes from a good tree. He is a good offensive mind. It's just, for me, I already told you guys how I feel. I want someone that's more experienced, that has shown kind of that leadership ability. From an X's and O's standpoint, you're not going to find too many guys better than him. So, and again, I think even when I was thinking about like Mike McDaniel, like the X and O's is okay, but I'm more looking for the leadership. But I wouldn't have been super upset with LaFleur. It sounds like he's probably going to stay put this year, I imagine, because actually who's left? Just our job in Cardinals. Is that
Arizona.
it?
That's it.
Yeah. So there's a pretty good chance he'll probably stay put, but. And honestly, if they ball out next year, he might be the top name, next year along with Tomlin and some of those other guys. But I wouldn't have been mad at LaFleur. I think he could be okay. He's another guy I just don't think's ready yet.
I think we're kind of teetering back and forth. And Leo, I ain't putting no respect on Shedeur Sanders' name. God damn it! Don't you come at me like that? Jesus Christ, Pro Bowl shit. And run down. Don't you back him up. All right. I know you guys and your Shedeur Sanders talk. All right. LS LaFleur is my number 3. 7th, I like LaFleur. I do think he might be a little green for head coach, but he would be my choice of fallback if Kubiak falls through. I think obviously with Kubiak, he's green too, right? If you haven't had the opportunity to be the head coach, I think you both walk in green. DJ, what's going on? I'm going to LaFleur. What success has he really had in the league? We'll let Severe kind of address that here in just a second.
Yeah.
Mike Chuck, why do people think Kubiak isn't going to want our head coaching job? People seem to let their minds wander over time waiting while other coaches get hired.
Could be because nobody wanted it last year.
It's
right. Could be because nobody wanted it when McDaniels took it and we had to overpay him. Could be because nobody wanted when Gruden took it, and we had to overpay him. Could be that nobody wanted it when Jack Del Rio took it, and we had to you notice a trend there, Money Chuck, that nobody wants this job generally. You notice that trend there. That's why people's minds are wondering, because generally people don't want the job. People don't want the job where there's a very strong chance that a pissy fan base will get you fired because you haven't won instantly. Right. No, people don't want to put themselves in that situation. You have an owner that
for your first gig too. For your first gig, I mean, just think about how many coaches have left the Raiders and had an opportunity to coach somewhere else.
Yes,
like what Dennis Allen.
Raiders fans get pissed off quickly. We have a short fuse.
Right,
we get pissed off, and people were chanting AP. 6 months later, they were chanting fire AP. Like we're turn on you quick. So people don't want to deal with a fan base that's finicky like that. Or an owner that's finicky like that, or a new ownership group in Tom Brady and John Spytek, or new leadership group where you don't know what these guys will do in the league, or Tom Brady, who's a part-time president of football operations. People don't want to walk into that kind of situation. They'll rather go somewhere where there's stability. So I mean, that's why that's why people they have the right to worry, because we were in this position last year, and what happened? We ended up having a hire of 73-year-old going on 74.
So one thing I'll say is imagine yourself as the really one of, if not the top head coaching candidate within this cycle, right? Ben Johnson was the big one last year. And the question is, and this is why, as much as people hated the fact that by week, I think 13, I believe, I was like, hey, we need to tank. We need to lose out, because the only attractive thing of this job would be that we have the number 1 overall draft pick. It's the only attractive thing that comes with this job as it stands right now. Our roster isn't great. One thing I will add is people talk about how much salary cap we have. You know how many free agents are going to be released to free agency? Like that, 80% of that salary cap is most likely going to have to go into free agents being brought back in. And so it's not like we have much of a staple to kind of stand on as it relates to the current roster itself. So you're coming into a roster that you're in a complete rebuild without question. In addition to that, you're going to a city, and if anybody's ever played the game at a high level, if anybody's ever coached the game at a high level, you're going to a city that doesn't back you. If you've ever coached in Allegiant Stadium as the away team, you know that you no longer have a home game. Now, hopefully you can turn that thing around. You have that confidence, but players also know that. And so you're going to have to convince players to come over here that are no longer going to basically play in a home game. It's going to take a while for you to actually just kind of gain that respect again. And again, you're going to come to I told my guys, I think last offseason, I saw Jack Besh at UPS. I saw Jack Besh. I had to deliver something, right? I'm standing in line. I saw Jack Besh. He turns around.
How ironic. Was he working?
And
was he working at UPS?
Yeah. And he's in line. He was trying to ship something out, right? And so I was like, as I walked up, mind you, this was before this was after the day that we had the inter-squad scrimmage with the 49ers. So well in the offseason, he's already been drafted. He comes up, I say what's up to him, and he turns around and he goes, hey, man, appreciate you saying what's up. You're the first person to recognize me out here. I'm like, you're the second overall draft pick, and not a single person has recognized you in the city that you play in. And so there's a lot of reasons why this isn't a very desirable place until you completely turn this thing around. And are you banking on your first head coaching gig out of the 9 other jobs that were available that this is the one? And so I'm not saying that he won't take it. I'm just saying this isn't the most desirable spot for a head coach, because you don't have the support of your city at all. And that's one of the biggest things that you want as a head coach for your organization, that the city's behind you. And you just don't have that here at all. And you could even win, and you still most likely won't have that, like a Green Bay or the Steelers or Seattle or anything like that. You just don't have it. So again, I'm not saying he won't take it. I'm just saying it's not the most desirable head coaching position as it stands right now, outside of the number 1 overall draft pick.
Yeah. No, agreed.
TK, I'll take him over Kubiak. All right, you like LaFleur. All day. Yeah. Here we go. We're going to talk about Kubiak here in just a second. Serious question. Webb is seemingly the next big thing. Enough that Peyton fired Lombardi for him. Is the Raiders overlooking something right in front of them for the shiny object of Kubiak? We're gonna get to that in just a second. We're gonna get to that in just a second. Money Chuck. I don't know how you take it. Just not everything that we say is just an attack on you. Don't worry.
Let me ask you guys a question. Because Money Chuck, he's remedial. So I think we have to break this down into the dumbest terms possible for him to understand. So let's say you guys are your head coaching candidates, and I'm a team that's looking for a head coach.
What up,
and I request to interview you guys for my open head coach vacancy, and you guys tell me no, you don't want to interview. Is that the same as turning down the job, or those two different things?
Same. He doesn't want. He doesn't even want to hear about it. He doesn't even want. Right? He don't even want to know what you're going to offer. So of course, he didn't interview with us, Money Chuck, because he didn't even want to interview.
Money Chuck. This is Money Chuck's logic. No, she didn't turn me down for a second date. We didn't go on a first date. Like, like, you idiot. Like, yes, she didn't want your number. She didn't give you the number. So, no, you didn't get a second date. You didn't even get the first date because she didn't even give you the digits.
Oh, man.
Some people, bro, what's your problem? It's just not acting up. Is you shaking? You sitting there shaking your chair. Call your nurse. Hit the buzzer. Hit the buzzer. Turn off the internet. Sometimes the blue light can mess with your brain. Phone down the laptop, brother. Phone down the laptop, please.
Jesus.
You didn't even get the first date. Oh, that's good. That's a good one. We got to clip that. That's a funny. That's good. Francis.
That's nasty, man.
Francis said, "You're saying big money, no state tax payroll. Money talks. It does in some cases, but not in all cases. If you're a top free agent, let's just say, or a coach, but if you're a top free agent, but that means you have multiple teams that most likely are vying for your services, and so at the end of the day, money doesn't always talk in this industry, right? A lot of players will go to stability, and we don't really offer that. And just because we have no state income tax, it's great, but also professional players, you if you play in another state, you pay those taxes, and so yes, it's an advantage to some extent, but a lot of times money just doesn't win you the services of that free agent, and so but again, a lot of the other head coaching, we only have 2 head coaching vacancies left. So if Kubiak is looking for one, I think between us and Arizona, we definitely have a good spot compared to Arizona, but compared to all the other 8 head coaching vacancies, man, I don't know if we were top of that list, but
or why rush and go back, fight for a Super Bowl again next year, and then maybe have a different opportunity with, a better quarterback and all that.
Yeah. So
he doesn't have to rush. He doesn't have to be desperate at the end of the day.
Yeah.
SoCal, yeah, I did. All right, so real quick, I'm gonna throw it over. All right, Severe. For me, real quick, okay. Mike LaFleur, he's my number 2. I like Clint Kubiak. Mike LaFleur is my number 2. I have my reasons, but I'm gonna give Severe the floor to let him know, or let the chat know why Mike LaFleur is his number 1. All right, man, go for it.
Yeah, Mike LaFleur is number 1. It's not even close, in my opinion. You look at his track record he's worked under. You look at the 2 guys that have had the most successful coaching trees in the NFL right now is Kyle Shanahan and Sean McVay, who has Mike LaFleur worked under Kyle Shanahan and Sean McVay. When Mike McDaniel was the passing or run game coordinator under Kyle Shanahan, Mike LaFleur was the pass game coordinator. And when Kyle Shanahan was talking about some assistants that were on his staff at that time, he identified, unprompted, Mike LaFleur and Mike McDaniel as 2 guys that were geniuses offensively, and 2 guys that he said would one day be head coaches, and 2 guys that he leaned on heavily. You looked at his time with the Jets. Obviously, he didn't have a lot of success with Zach Wilson at quarterback. When he didn't have Zach Wilson at quarterback, he had Mike White going back-to-back games with 400-plus yards. So And then you look at his time with the Rams, right? He's been under Sean McVay. Last year, people were ready to like they were ready to get rid of Matt Stafford. They were ready to they were ready to get rid of Matt Stafford for a second round pick and some stuff. This year, Matt Stafford comes back. He's quite possibly the league MVP. It has a lot to do with his work with Mike LaFleur. And you look at the history of guys that have worked under Sean McVay. It goes as follows. Matt LaFleur worked there for 1 year as offensive coordinator. He goes on to be be the offensive coordinator under Vrabel for 1 year, and then he gets a head coaching job. Kevin O'Connell works 1 year under Sean McVay as offensive coordinator. Obviously, he takes the Vikings job. You see what he's done. Liam Cohen works 1 year under Sean McVay. He goes to Kentucky, works for a year there. Then he goes to Tampa Bay, works a year there. And we see what Liam Cohen has just done. Sean and Mike LaFleur is there right now as the offensive coordinator under Sean McVay. If history repeats itself with the previous guys that have been his offensive coordinator, it lends to say that he will be the next successful offensive head coach in the NFL. So why are we not taking advantage of the trend? We see the guy has the pedigree, he has the experience, he has the knowledge, he has the demeanor and the tenor. He's the guy. Now, obviously, because of all of those factors, the Raiders aren't going to hire him.
Because of all those factors. Real quick, Torque, you're saying that no state income tax helped get Atlanta Roberts, bro, it really factors in. I mean, how do we know that? Did he come out and say that I came here because of no state income tax? You got to remember, Atlanta Roberts was on the tail end of his he's on the tail end of his career. Maybe he'll sign one more 1 year contract. That's about it. It wasn't like he was the most sought after prospect in free agency. So, I mean, I don't know if he came out and said this. I don't know if you're his best friend, but it could have. I'm not saying it doesn't play a factor. I'm just saying it's not the biggest factor when we talk about the top end free agents, where they have 5, 6, teams wanting them to come to their organization. That's when I say it's not that.
He was just trolling. He was trolling when he said that.
Oh,
yeah.
Atlanta I think Atlanta wanted to play with Adam Butler too. That's another factor. He wanted to play with PG and with Adam Butler because I think he had played with those guys before with the Patriots.
So, Seventh said Mike LaFleur is from the McVay tree, who is from the Gruden tree. So there are also some distant Raider roots there. There's some roots. McVay is well with Gruden. Alec, if LaFleur was a fool, McVay wouldn't have kept him around. It's true. You definitely can't deny that his experience in the NFL, right? Being under both McVay as well as Shanahan, you love the experience that he has, without question, and just the talent that he has been tied to. Again, that's where for myself, it's the only that's the only thing, right? And I will say we'll talk about Clint Kubiak as well. That's the only thing that I don't know is when he takes the reins of that offense, what's it going to look like? That's the only question mark that I have, and that's really one of the main reasons why I put Clint Kubiak over Mike LaFleur at this point. Love both the history. The histories are great. I think both of them have the history you're looking for and experience you're looking for in a next head coach if you're looking offensive minded. But that's the only difference that I put between the two. But we'll talk about Clint Kubiak here in just a second. Jay, you like LaFleur as well. LaFleur is your 1A, Kubiak 1B. We probably won't hire LaFleur. And it sounds like we don't have a second interview, which is going to be tough. All right, let's see. Just want to make sure. I don't think Leonard Roberts goes again. I hope we bring him back for at least one more year.
Yeah, I would.
I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. If it's looking sketchy like it is this past year, he might be like, I'm good.
Dude, he might want to go back to the Steelers.
Maybe. Oh, shit. Patrick Graham taking him away, huh? So what a Raider Ryan. Okay. So that's Mike LaFleur. Again, for myself, for me, he's 1B. We're going to kind of get to the two other guys. We're going to leave Kubiak for the end, but let's get to Webb.
Right,
Webb's a very
quick.
interesting guy.
Let me address this real quick. Zach Robinson was never offensive coordinator there. He was quarterback's coach, I think passing game coordinator. He was never offensive coordinator under Sean McVay. So that's why I was very clear about guys that were actually his offensive coordinator.
So Davis Webb. Davis Webb is a guy that I think a lot of people have been very interested in. You hear chat. Let me know. Let me know. Do you like Davis Webb? Do you want to see Davis Webb be our next head coach? I think LS was the one that basically stated it, that, Sean Payton made a move for a reason, got rid of their offensive coordinator. Obviously, I think the attempts are that they're going to promote Davis Webb to their current offensive coordinator. Obviously, Sean Payton calls the plays over there, so how much of an elevation it is outside of just a title would be very interesting. But they obviously made a move to keep him there. And so Sean Payton thinks this guy is well-respected enough to keep him within his coaching staff in that organization. And so, chat, let me know what your thoughts are on Davis Webb. Do you want to see him potentially be the next head coach for our Raiders? And so, Severe, I'm going to throw it to you first this time. What's your thoughts on Davis Webb? Obviously, we know Mike LaFleur is your number one. But what's your thoughts on Davis Webb?
It's too early for Davis Webb, man. And I think he's a guy that, in a year or two, maybe 3, he'll be one of the hot candidates out there. But right now, he's never having even been a coordinator at the NFL level. I think it's too early for him. And right now, we need a guy. We want a combination of youth and experience. And I think Kubiak gives you that. Brady gave you some of that. LaFleur gives you that. Mike McDaniel gave you that. There are a lot of guys that give you that. And Davis Webb, he's all youth, no experience. And he might be a bright guy, but you can have all the bright ideas in the world. You can be a high IQ guy. You can be the best schemer in the world. But if you don't know how to handle grown men and coach grown men at the NFL level, offensively and defensively, this ain't, when you're a head coach, you're a coach of the whole team. So you can be the best quarterback coach out there. You can be the best offensive coordinator out there. But if you don't have the ability to relate to those other 52 people on the roster outside of your starting quarterback, then it really doesn't mean anything. And I don't think he has enough experience doing that. And so that's why I think it's too early for him. And I think if you put him in this situation, it will turn a guy that could potentially be a rock star, head coaching candidate in the future, potentially a rock star head coach. You could ruin him early and really be detrimental to his career. So I think the best thing for him to do is go back to the Broncos. They've cleared the way for him to be the offensive coordinator there. Let him spend a year or two as the offensive coordinator and then enter the open market. Obviously, if everything works out, with us and who is likely going to be Clint Kubiak, who I think is going to be, almost a foregone conclusion now. We hire. I don't think we'll be in the market for a head coach because we're hoping that Clint works out, so we won't be able to hire him. But the best thing for him is to just wait and not eat. You don't want to have eyes too big for your stomach. And I think him trying to jump into a head coaching job right now, that's exactly what that would be.
I mean, I don't disagree. Where's the flag, man? We're going to talk about the DC for Kubiak. He's the next on the list. We're about to talk about. So we're about to talk about Kubiak here in just a second. And Chris, I'm going to throw it over to you. Big picture saying Rams use a ton of tech AI for such. Oh, okay, my bad. That was on the previous one. LS Davis Webb definitely intrigues me. Alec, you're saying yes, Peyton wants to keep Webb around. He does. He's making moves to try to keep him around. Cole Kev, don't trust anyone from Peyton's staff.
I don't trust Peyton. Shoot.
Right.
Davis Webb is an NFL bro. It's a very interesting way to put it. I don't know enough about his personality and the way that he works. But that's a very interesting way to put it. Torque, Webb just gives off goober vibes like Adam Gase. That's why. Where's the flag? Did Davis Webb leave Vegas? He was still there last night, I think. I think he did leave Vegas, but I don't quote me. I think he already left Vegas. Francis the Sith, I think you're saying no to Davis Webb. Raider Ryan, are we going to be the team that's left at the altar and end up with McDermott? It would be nice to get Kubiak as head coach, Webb as OC. I don't think Webb will come over as OC. He's going to probably stay over with Broncos. If he doesn't, I don't think he'll make that move. You're saying Raheem Morris as DC. We'll talk about Kubiak here in just a second.
I don't think he does that. That would be LaFleur. If we hire LaFleur, I think you get Raheem Morris. I don't think you get him with Kubiak.
Yeah, because of the ties.
Yeah.
TK, how are we going to talk about the inexperience, then cap for Webb? I think you're talking about, for the people that talk bad about inexperience, then want Webb. I think that's kind of what you're getting at. Pigs. If we're drafting Mendoza, I would be good with Webb developing alongside him. We're not in a win now situation. We'll talk about just the experience. LS Lombardi isn't just some jack either. Him and Peyton go back, and he will still be willing to fire him. So let's do this. Chris, what's your thoughts on Davis Webb?
Yeah, so, kind of a lot of stuff that Severe was saying. Can you guys hear me?
Looks like I hear you.
Frozen. Okay. It's kind of how I feel. One of my best friends.
You got the turf face right now.
Do I?
You frozen on the turf face.
After we picked Brock.
Right. But no, one of my good friends, he's a Broncos fan, so he's he kind of got me hip to him early on, so I did kind of look into him. The thing is, it's just that experience, man, just a lack of experience. And everyone keeps going back to, his time calling plays, during a preseason game, like that means something. Like I'm not impressed with that. But from what everybody's saying, though, he's kind of like a whiz kid. He, from an X and O standpoint, he's, he retains a lot, and I guess just working with Sean Payton, I mean, he'll continue to get better. But again, when you're looking at, being in the division with Harbaugh, Reed, and Sean Payton, man, we cannot have, just all these, a guy with no experience, man. They're just gonna get chewed up and spit out. So, and honestly, that's why I keep going back to, having a guy with experience, having a true leader of men. And yeah, I'm just not interested.
Yeah,
I'm with it. It goes back to it goes back to just the inexperience, right? I talked way too much about the inexperience of some of the coaches that were basically like a mentor. I think if you have a very inexperienced coach, I think you need to have an extremely dialed in front office, and we just don't have that. We have a second-year GM that's still trying to learn how to be a GM. We're trying to figure out who's actually calling the shots between him and Tom Brady. You have an owner that's misstepped over the last 11 plus years. And so we have a lot of learning to do with our own organization. And then to bring in Webb that has just really no experience at all, nothing that you could just think that could automatically translate to a good head coach. It just doesn't make any sense. And so it's not to say that he could be good after he just gets more experience. Could be. I don't think he's ready now. And two, I don't think we're ready for him. I don't think we are the organization that can set the platform for him to find success.
Right.
And so, and we won't be able to give him any direction. And again, I think he played for 7 years, I believe. I think he played in the league for about 7 years. This is his second year coaching in the NFL. Maybe going to his third. It's like he's still learning how to just be a coach in the NFL. Let alone
that's what I'm saying.
Learn how to call an offense and be a head coach. It just doesn't make any sense at this point in time.
Right.
And we have been so bad at hiring coaches. I'm not one to just be like, let's take a swing and see how this works out. When you have at least an experienced head coach in the waiting that potentially is willing to take the job, hopefully with Kubiak, if the reports are right.
Yeah.
And so we're just not in that position to take the swing. I mean, could you imagine if we took the swing and he gets the job and all of a sudden we win 2 games next year? People will be calling for his head because you can point. Because you can point to all the reasons why you don't do it, why you don't bring him in to start. And so it would just be a bad move, in my opinion.
The thing about it is that, people point to, Sean Payton, he got rid of Lombardi. who he had history with. It was a long time worked with them. Well, there's once upon a time Jack Del Rio got rid of a guy named Bill Musgrave, who had worked with him, I believe, in Jacksonville for a up and coming quarterbacks coach named Todd Downing, who with people in the organization had great things to say about.
Oh yeah, young,
and that was a failure. And then Todd Downing got a second opportunity with the Titans because maybe that Raiders job just wasn't the right fit for him, and Derek Carr wasn't the same anymore. And he got over to the Titans, and you know what? He still sucked. So just because somebody fired another guy with more experience for a younger guy, we don't know what machinations are happening behind the scenes. People, I just saw somebody else say, I missed the comment. They said people said Sean McVay wasn't ready. Sean McVay had spent 2 full years as offensive coordinator for the Redskins at that point. It wasn't him just being a position coach that had some nice ideas. Okay, that's great. You got some good ideas. Appreciate you. Let's see you put those into practice as the actual coordinator of this offense. Like it's miles different, right? Calling plays in the preseason is like that's the difference between that and calling actual offense. Is the difference between driving on a freeway and driving at go-kart world. Like it's not, you can't even compare the two. Like, yeah, you drove a vehicle, but it's not the same.
It's very true. All right, so let's get to the next one, and this is basically going to be the final coach, right? Obviously, this is where everything is kind of pointing to, and hopefully we don't see any left turns in the next couple of weeks if this is the overall plan. But we officially have a second interview. I believe it's this Saturday. This Saturday is scheduled a second interview with Clint Kubiak. So, chat, let me know if this is the guy that you want. Let me know if you want Clint Kubiak to be the next head coach for the Raiders. Definitely hit us up. Look, we have over 500 in the building. We definitely appreciate everybody rocking with us. Double tap that screen. Hit that sub button if you want to get included in the chat. In the offseason, we are in the offseason, we're going to be breaking down game film, college prospects, as well as free agents. So definitely get included in that. We're going to be doing it on Wednesdays and Sundays. Definitely hit up my guy, Chris Pick Show Podcast. He's over there. Hit that sub button, hit that like button. You got The Severe Raider. I'm 805 Raider, Real Talk Raider Nation. We appreciate everybody rocking with us. Let us know if you guys want Kubiak. So, Severe, I'm going to throw it to you first. What's your thoughts on Kubiak? One, is he kind of a 1B? Is he number 4 on the list? Obviously, I think maybe some names have kind of obviously taken some jobs. But at this point, kind of where do you rank him depending on who you got on your list? And would you be cool if we ended up going with him?
Yeah, I mean, like, starting from the process, I'm just looking at, he was probably 5th for me. I had a few, quite a few guys. He was like tied for 5th with somebody else. So it was like technically it could be 6th. Would I be okay with the hire? I wouldn't be mad at the hire. I can understand it. You get a guy that, like he's the hot name right now. You see what he did, especially you see what he did in the championship game. I think he caught a fantastic game. The issue I have with Clint Kubiak is that after his time with the Vikings, nobody gave a rat's ass about Clint Kubiak. And then he went to the 49ers, and then, people were like, okay, he's a potential OC candidate, right? I think before we hired Getsy, there were some people in Raider Nation that were saying, hey, you know what? I wouldn't mind having Clint Kubiak as our offensive coordinator over here. And obviously he had taken and Zach Robinson was another guy that people had interest as well. Zach Robinson took the Atlanta job. Clint Kubiak took the New Orleans job. And then Clint Kubiak went to New Orleans and he came out like gangbusters the first 2 games. And then what happened? He was trashed the rest of the year. So bad that they got rid of him before the year was over. And then before this season, there wasn't any, like when we had an opportunity to hire a head coach and he was free to go to wherever he wanted to. No strings attached. No waiting. You could bring him in, hire him. Probably at a pretty good market rate. To be honest with you, it would have been a lot less than what we paid Pete Carroll for. Nobody was looking at Clint Kubiak saying, oh, that should be our head coach. I couldn't find anybody that was saying he should be offensive coordinator. So you look at that, and then he has this good year, and it's a very good year. I won't take anything away from him. And now he's a guy that skyrockets to the top of the list. I mean, that concerns me. But the guy right now, what he's been doing this year, what he's done through these playoffs, it merits respect. It merits interest around the league. You obviously want to bring him in, talk to him, see what trajectory he has, what plans he would have for your franchise. I think he's a guy that, like, I understand the interest. I wouldn't hate it, but he's not my top choice.
Real quick, Horace, you're saying Black and White Sports. I don't know what that is. Said he canceled the second interview. If anybody can confirm that, let me know if he canceled it, because the report that he confirmed the second interview, I think that was released today. So if anybody can confirm that, definitely chat. Let us know. So Severe, when I think you were talking about the Saints when he ended up getting let go from the Saints.
Yeah.
When I went back and I kind of watched what happened with the Saints, and look, I didn't go and look at every single game, so I'm not claiming that I did. But one thing I will say is, one of my best friends, he's a Saints fan. I think what was really tough about the season was that he was working with basically a bunch of rookies on the offensive line, as well as a bunch of guys that just did not work out. Everybody said they had to revamp that offensive line. They had Talisi Fuaga. They had that Pennington guy. I forget what his name was.
That they drafted. I think they're Ruiz as well at center, I think. And
yeah, they had Lucas Patrick, but they had a year before Talisi Fuaga, they picked up an offensive tackle that they ended up having to move him down to guard because he just was not working out at offensive tackle, and so he was working with a really, really awful offensive line, with a rookie being the best offensive lineman on that line with Talisi Fuaga. So I think that offensive line was struggling a lot, and so it's really dependent on just how much he had to work with over there. Obviously with Derek Carr getting hurt, and then you had Spencer Rattler come in, and then I think there was a shakeup with those quarterbacks. Didn't have a lot of weapons. Olave had a lot of concussions the year that he had them. So I think it wasn't great, but I also think there was a lot of things that weren't really working into his favor. And so, but I'll definitely kind of give my take on Kubiak. I think a lot of people kind of hit or miss. I think you're saying saying Kubiak seems the best option, but him leaving is questionable, and he might go Bills. I don't think he's going Bills.
Yeah.
I think that's already all taken care of.
I'm done, yeah.
Yeah. Let me go back, I think. Like Nation, I wanted McDaniel. Kubiak was my second choice. Destroying the weights, Clint or nothing. Pat, we just talked about McDermott, so if you want to go back into the live, go definitely check that out. We definitely touched on McDermott earlier in the live. I can rock with Clint Kubiak. That's what Larry's saying. Let's see. Okay, he's number one. Let's see. Cool. Kev Kubiak would have declined further contracts with the Raiders by now. He seems to be a stand-up guy for now. We'll see how it plays out.
Yeah. I think it's stand-up guy.
TK Kubiak is not my choice, but it is what it is. Let's see.
It's kind of where I'm at.
Rick Kubiak played a basketball game plan against the Rams. He's doing good things as the play caller, so we're definitely not knock on him. A lot of people, yes, Kubiak, lock him in the building. Let's see. As I know that there are some people at the same time are they're not. Kubiak wasn't their number one guy, which is fine. Okay, I'll keep looking through. Chris, man, what's your thoughts on Kubiak?
Yeah, man, it's kind of one of those things, man. I wouldn't be upset, but he's not a guy that I necessarily wanted right away, when we first got into the whole cycle. But at this point in the cycle, just kind of looking around, like, I definitely don't want Davis Webb. There's a couple, I don't want Shula or anything like that. Kind of out of all the guys that are left, I wouldn't mind it. But, kind of going back to what we were talking about, Kubiak and the Saints. I mean, there's a lot of excuses you could say, but the thing is that Saints team still had a better roster than everyone in their division that year. Like that, like they were supposed to,
run away with it,
and they couldn't get it done, man. So, and again, I'm not only blaming him, but at the end of the day, it's like, because who was the head? Was that
Dennis Allen?
Dennis Allen, yeah. So you literally, Dennis took care of the defense. All you had to do is kind of focus on that offense, get it going. And honestly, it's just he's not he's just not inspiring. He doesn't come across as being like a motivator, inspiring guy. Not saying that you necessarily have to as a coach, but again, you know, when I think about a coach that's going to be in our division, you know, is he just going to be able to X and O everyone to death and be able to just kind of out X and O all the other coaches? I just don't see it. I think he'll be a good offensive coordinator. I mean, he'll get a shot to be a head coach for us, but he's not a guy that I see as just super motivating. And I hope it works if we do get him. Again, I'm not going to be super upset, but it just doesn't inspire me, to be quite honest.
Yeah. No, facts. Well, let me address this, guys. Sorry, Money Chuck. I would like to apologize. I'm sorry that you too dumb to understand what is being said on the screen. I apologize for the education system that you were brought up in, and that we as Americans did not do you better, because you are a symptom of what's wrong with this country. And I take personal responsibility because I haven't always voted. And maybe if I had voted, and then maybe if my grandparents had voted, and maybe if their parents had voted, the little school that you went to, you would have had a better chance. Maybe if you would have been, I'm sorry your parents didn't get you hooked on phonics. And you're still reading at a third grade level right now. And your critical thinking is that of a 75-year-old Pete Carroll. I'm sorry for all of that. I apologize that you are too dumb to understand anything that I just said. And you would just lash out angrily because you hear nothing but Charlie Brown right now. All you hear is wah, wah, wah. You don't understand none of these. None of these words are getting through your brain. All right, brother. So as you shakily type on your keyboard,
he's typing right now.
Make sure
he has a master's degree. Oh Lord, Jesus Christ!
Here we go.
Right.
Speaking of languages,
Jesus Christ.
Bro, you can't even spell. Like use your and your in the sentence. Use both yours in the sentence right now. Use them both correctly. I dare you. I double dare you.
Raider Rob, you're saying, do you guys believe Kubiak can revive Geno, sit Fernando beginning of the season? I don't want to answer that. That's a deep dive. Raider Rob, we could definitely get into that probably either after or at a later live. The only thing I'm going to say about that is the one thing I think people need to just kind of understand is Geno's still under contract. I understand a lot of people just want to move on from Geno, and I get it, right? I don't want Geno in the locker room, but I think we have to also just understand he's most likely to be here. You let him go, you're eating $18.5 million to the cap hit, and we need to build this roster. And so there's a world where Geno Smith stays, and you might see him playing. And so that's the only thing I want to just throw out there. People just got to realize that Geno Smith might still be around. And so, Rick, I think there's one thing to keep in mind with that Saints. Yes, Kubiak, there was a lot of injuries to that game, to that season with Kubiak. So that's one thing to keep in mind. But his name is put on that offense, so you got to perform. Even if injuries do happen, you definitely have to perform. Yvette, what's going on? Appreciate you rocking with us. So let's see. Hummer, I called for Kubiak as OC, but most people said no. All right. Rundown, yes. Derek played 10 games that year with the Saints. Again, season. Bad offensive line. Olave, I think, missed like 6 games that year due to concussion.
Toward the back end of the year, they were banged up. But for most of the year, they had Olave and they had Shaheed and they had Taysom Hill for most of the season.
Yeah.
Regardless, that division was trash.
It was trash.
They were trash. Everybody was injured. Right.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. The Bucks were bad. Yeah, they were trash.
Yeah, everybody was bad.
So Kubiak's meeting with the Cardinals too. All right. I don't know if I saw confirmation, but if he's meeting with the Cardinals too, all right, we got some competition. Let's hope nothing goes left on us.
Man, I'm worried about his dad and Shanahan, man. I really am. Because again, like this is your first gig, son. This is your first chance. This is first chance, man.
Yeah.
If you get that Raider stain on you, exactly. That's what I'm saying. Yeah. Like a lot of guys can't just talk to their dad or their mentor and neither one of those guys, think very
highly. Freddie Kitchens ain't got another look since. Freddie Kitchens ain't got another look. Freddie Kitchens did, and he kept. And Freddie Kitchens was so bad, he kept Todd Monken from getting head coaching jobs. That's how bad Freddie Kitchens was. So and the thing I worry about is his dad and the Shanahan guys getting in his ear. Also worry about like what kind of staff he's gonna put together. Like who's gonna be on his staff. Like, so you don't have any strong indication, like who would be willing to come join them at this point, especially this late in the stage. If we got to wait another week and a half, right? Like because if Cardinals fill their head coaching job, all these other head coaching jobs at that point will be filled. So like we'll be like Dollar Tree shopping for coordinators, and not just coordinators. You got to look at position coaches too. Like there's gonna be a lot of guys going to be gone because all these other jobs have been filled. So. Like, I worry about that as well.
That's such a good point, man. Especially if we're going to get Mendoza. Like it's more than just partnering him with Kubiak, man. It's like who's going to be the offensive coordinator, who's going to be the position coach, and that's going to be probably more important than anything. Yeah, who's going to be that position coach? Who's going to be the offensive line coach? We already saw what can go wrong if we pick the wrong guy there, man. You got to be able to get a strong coaching staff, man. And that's what worries me with some of these guys, man.
And I'm with you because Raider Hawaii, he showed that he progressed from the Saints and learned from his mistakes, and I think a lot of people can. Yes, yeah. I think there's no question based on what he's doing today that he's been able to kind of learn from those mistakes and stuff like that. So that's definitely a positive. And LS, my only knock on Kubiak is that we hear plenty about his play calling and schematics, but not much about his ability to lead. And that can be a knock.
Right.
I'm not going to disagree. Like, one thing I will say is, Severe, I know I have been going back and watching as many interviews as possible. And I know you kind of mentioned kind of his quirkiness.
Oh my God.
Send me some. Send me some, because I honestly, like, when I watch his interviews, I definitely see just the monotone in his voice, right? You really don't know. You don't get a really good vibe as to whether or not he's going to be a true leader of men. I can agree to that.
Yeah. It's not quirkiness. Like quirkiness, I don't mind quirky. If you're genuinely, because I'm like, some people might say I'm a quirky person. Like, right? Like I joke and I like some people might attribute that to quirkiness. I'm just saying that, can you get in front of a room full of 53 men plus your practice squad and command those dudes? Will you be the guy that those dudes will lay down and fall on their shields and go out there and put their body in harm's way for? Like, as a head coach, that's something you have to be able to do. And that's something, obviously, like I said, like we had some questions about Nick Sirianni, and then some of those questions dissipated, but now some of those questions are starting to crop back up again. Now, like, those questions disappeared when they were winning, and now those questions are coming back.
Right.
We had some of those questions, a little bit about Liam Cohen. I think really just because of that whack Duval he said. But other than that, I don't think there was the same level of concern there. Yeah. And then Ben Johnson, he had a weird opening press conference, but I think that was somewhat of nerves, because when I heard his other press conferences when he was with the Lions as OC, I didn't see those issues. Yeah. So, but those issues with Kubiak are perpetual, and it's not just monotone. It just, everything he says, he just seems low energy. I don't hear any conviction out of him. Yeah. Like if he tells me, oh man, we're gonna go out there and run 12 personnel, I'm like, man, you don't run no damn 12 personnel. He'll be like, well, maybe we're not. Like, so I don't feel like, bro, you gotta make me feel that you believe what you're saying. I don't even feel like he believes. Look at his face. His face doesn't convey that he believes what he's saying. His tone doesn't convey that he believes what he's saying. His body language doesn't, like, it's just nothing about him exudes like I'm the leader. Yeah. I'm in command. Yeah. And like and I know that's, people like worry about, like, people say like sometimes that stuff is overrated, because if you're a leader, you're a leader. But but like that stuff is important. That's why you never saw FDR in his wheelchair. Nobody, if they didn't tell you FDR was in a wheelchair, nobody would ever know, because he never let himself be pictured in a wheelchair, because optics matter. That stuff matters.
I mean, so I thought when you said quirkiness, I thought you meant something different. I can agree. I actually agree. So when I watch his interviews, right, I'm with you. There's not necessarily a lot of conviction in his voice. I can agree that is there going to be some question marks as to whether or not he can lead a locker room, he can lead a team of men. I can agree. There's definitely going to be some question marks there. And so, but I think with both candidates between him and Mike LaFleur, there's going to be question marks just how they can handle that role in general, right?
Period. Right.
And so it's taking on.
Guys have question marks. I feel more comfortable with Mike, but both those guys have question marks.
Yeah, and rightfully so. You know what I'm saying? Because they've never actually held the position. Exactly. But we're definitely going to see just kind of how it works out. Again, I just lean towards the fact that what he's doing in Seattle now, knowing that he's calling the plays and he's orchestrating it, that definitely just, in my opinion, kind of gives him a leg up in just my eyes. And so, the thing that I'll just kind of end it with, at least with my opinion, is we've kind of went out on a limb so many times. I think last year we kind of got screwed in the fact that no one wanted to come here, right? So no one wanted our job and no one wanted Pete Carroll, so we were just a match made in heaven. No, right. we were the ones that nobody wanted, right? Prior to that, we went with AP on a whim. I posted a video, the difference between AP and Jim Harbaugh, right? And my thing is you'd be dumb not to go with Jim Harbaugh because of his history, because what he brings to the table, and AP has no experience whatsoever, basically. And he lacks it. So you're basically, the AP hire was just off of emotion. That's basically what it was. And so I did a full video of just the pros and cons between them. But this would be the first time, because this is the biggest head coaching hire in a long time. Even the second stint with John Gruden. I think the second stint with John Gruden was just emotional. It wasn't necessarily that he was the right guy for the job. It was that just the history that he brought to the position. I think that's what a lot of people liked, right? And so this would be the first one that at least if we hire him on, even if the first season doesn't go well, which it typically won't, even if it takes him 3 full seasons to potentially kind of mold this team into something, the first 2 seasons that we don't find success, at least we can point back to the history and go, at least we did enough homework that we can ride this thing out for at least 3 seasons.
Yeah.
And I hope that the fan base would allow that with his history and what he brings to the table. And so I think just with that, I hope that the fan base can take a deep breath for at least the next 2.5 seasons and go, look, let's give this guy time. Let's do it right this time and at least give him the time to build the foundation. So that's why I think if we went with Kubiak, I'm not going to be mad at it. He's number 1 on my list, but I wouldn't be mad at it. If we went with Mike LaFleur, if that ended up happening, I wouldn't be mad at it either. The history's there. The experience is there. You got to give him the time. Davis Webb, I think it's a whole nother story.
Davis Webb, I'd be more concerned. Like, I'd be okay with Kubiak. Like, Mike LaFleur is my number 1 guy. I'd be okay with Kubiak. Yeah. Like I said, I have my concerns, but if he comes out and he does his thing, then I won't be too mad. Davis Webb is just the biggest one that concerns me because it's just the experience not there. But another thing, we talk about hiring coaches. The Shrine Bowl was last week. Senior Bowl is this week. Players are being scouted right now.
Right.
Yep. The NFL Combine is going to be right around the corner too.
Right, man.
We got to get this coach hire and the staff in place ASAP because time is ticking. We're behind the 8 ball already. We're already behind the 8 ball. And obviously we have our scouting department there, but you want your coach and your position coaches to be involved with the players that are being picked. Like you want to say, what kind of guys fit your scheme? What kind of body types do you like? What kind of archetypes do you like in your cornerbacks or your running backs or your tight, your wide receivers? So you want to know these things. You want to pick that coach's brain. Okay, bam, I saw you had success in Seattle with JSN. Oh, look at this wide receiver. I saw you had some success with Jake Bobo. Okay, what about this guy? You run a 2-back system. Okay, we have Genty here. What kind of guy would you like as a compliment? Like all of these questions need to be asked of a guy like Kubiak. And obviously he's not going to answer those questions now. So you only really get those full answers when he gets hired. So the time is ticking. Time is of the essence, and we're running out of it.
And Ron says Shanahan ain't like that. I think he's hella monotone. He is, so I think there's just going to be risks. There's going to be risks, and until they're put in that position, then I think we'll really figure out what type of leader of men you really are. And so, and now, man, what's going on, man? You're saying, look at Ben Johnson interviews. Yeah. I think a lot of people had some question marks there. But again, it won't always work out.
Cal and Ben both have way more command, I feel, than like there's a difference between being monotone and being like not showing any conviction.
Right.
Like, you can be monotone and not show any, and still have some conviction and still have some confidence about yourself. Like he just always looks it's like, come on, dog. Like, bro, you the play caller, right. But you running this offense. You about to be in the. I'm like, it just doesn't. I don't feel any kind of confidence from him or any kind of like command from him. I didn't necessarily have those same concerns about Ben Johnson. I was on the Ben Johnson train.
I think that's the biggest word that you're using is command, right? I can agree to that. When you watch his interviews, it doesn't like it's not like he commands the podium. He doesn't command, just like his responses aren't with 100% conviction, and you just kind of. He's not a Mike Tomlin. Let's put it that way, right? He's nowhere near a Mike Tomlin.
Second ballot Hall of Famer Bill Belichick didn't have any. Was monotone, right?
Right.
like monotone is not the issue. That's travesty.
That's a whole. That's a whole other topic. We might talk about that.
Crazy.
Yeah. Every one of every 10 person that every one of those 10 people that didn't vote for him should be slapped in the face every day until he gets into the Hall of Fame. Like just wake up, Bill Belichick gets to slap you in the face until he makes it to the Hall of Fame next time.
Hey, shout out to that, man. You're gonna be at the combine. Hey, we're gonna be trying to schedule it out. If y'all gonna be around the draft, let us know. Hit us up on social media. We're gonna try to finalize these details. We're gonna get over to the draft Thursday, Friday, and Saturday. So hit us up. Love to put names to faces, chop it up with y'all. Definitely let us know if you're gonna be at the draft because we're gonna be making those plans to get out there. All 3 days, it's gonna be fun. So definitely hit us up. Let us know.
Brady led a lot of men to invest their money with Sam Bankman-Fried. Ask those people how they feel about him being a leader.
No, he was asking Brad. Brad is a Seahawks fan. He said, "What do you want to know about him?" So he was just asking.
Somebody else said Brady is a leader of men. Oh, I missed it.
He was asking Brad. He was Brad.
I think he said Brady.
Is there a Brad in here?
My fault. Yeah. Oh man, I started my fault, John. I took a shot at you, brother.
Yeah, no, this is Brad.
My fault,
man. Brad said he's very dry. The Seattle media started this rhetoric about how he isn't head coach material. I'm a Seahawks fan. I honestly think it was to prevent him from being a head coach.
Okay.
I mean, hey, some people are playing chess, not checkers, right? They're trying to keep their guys.
I mean, but the thing is, we're not part of the Seattle media, so we can see it on our own. Like, I didn't have to listen to them. I
didn't listen to any. Like, I didn't even know Seattle media said that. I would if I had known Seattle media said, I would have used that in my argument.
Right,
if that's the media covering them saying that.
Right,
and like, why would the media like that? I mean, I don't know. Like, maybe Seattle media is more organized than Las Vegas media because our media ain't organized enough to be like, all right, you guys.
Hey, we all got it.
This is the plan. We're gonna say this one thing about this guy to make sure he stays. Like, we're gonna say negative things about this person to make sure that he stays here. Like, I don't know how that works in Seattle. Right. It's rainy all the time. Maybe that's why it's so doom and gloom up there. I don't know.
And Brady said he's a gem, and I don't think anybody's gonna really. We're not going to argue the fact that he's a gem as an offensive coordinator, but I think that's the hard part, right? Is your boy McDonald over there? He's doing work as it relates to head coach, and so I don't think you'd want to get rid of him for Kubiak possibly, right? And so we're looking at him as potentially as our head coach, and so you kind of want to look at him in just a little bit of little different light. And so as a gem offensive coordinator, man, I think he's proven his worth without question. As a head coach. Again, he's my number one. I do like him. You definitely have some concerns just in potentially just the command that he has at the podium.
You say he's a gem? Oh, bro, he's dropped down. He's dropped off my list, man. He's done. Now I'm mad. If I hire him now, he's a gem.
As an offensive coordinator,
he's a gem. I mean, just the terminology. The terminology. He's a gem. I've heard.
No, I got okay. All right. I got you. I mean, yes, he's had one really good year as offensive coordinator. Okay, but look, you line him up. If he does, obviously we'll see what happens. If he does win himself a Super Bowl and can continue with something like that with that offense, I mean, he's working his way as an offensive coordinator. But I think at the end of the day, a new head coach that's never held that position before, there's definitely going to be a lot of question marks. And let's hope that if he does end up being our next head coach, that he puts some of them to bed and we finally find some goddamn success with this Raiders organization. So let's hope no one goes left. Because I'll tell you right now, we don't see a second interview with Mike LaFleur, which is really tough. Yeah. And so I think we're putting all of our eggs in one basket. And if Mike LaFleur ends up going to Arizona and takes that job,
it's Kubiak or Webb at this point. I think it's a 2-horse race, and I think Denver is trying to make it as difficult as possible for Webb to leave. And I think Kubiak, his circle, I think they're having some strong conversations right now about if this is really the opportunity he wants to put his first head coaching job or bet his first head coaching job on. So I think both of those guys in their camps, I think they're huddled up and they're having some spirited discussions. Not so much spirited from Kubiak because we hear how he talks, but his people around him are having spirited conversations. And he's
going to get some more command when he gets that head coaching job. All right, once he's given that role, you just watch him change. Damn it!
But I think those camps. So I think the leader in the clubhouse is Kubiak. I think that is the leader in the club because if they wanted to hire Webb, I don't see anything that would be preventing them from hiring Webb, but maybe some reservations from Webb himself. So I think the guy they want is Kubiak, and if we want him as our head coach, I think Kellen Moore. I think he got hired 2 days after the Eagles won the Super Bowl last year, so it might be a similar situation. A few days after we see the Patriots beat the Seahawks in the Super Bowl, then I think we'll be hiring Kubiak as the head coach of the Raiders. I don't know who's going to win the game.
I'm not gonna lie. If it's not Kubiak, if it's not Mike LaFleur, I would look at Shula, but then I'm going back to McDermott. Honestly, I want nothing to do with Webb. Yeah, I think he's a very interesting prospect.
That's what I'm saying.
But he's got no experience.
I want no parts of that.
Yeah, man. It's worrisome. It's worrisome.
I want no parts of that.
You know what I'm saying? So I mean, because this fan base would not give him any slack. If he comes out and all of a sudden we're 0-4, like they're going to go after his head because everybody's going to point to the lack of inexperience that he has and be like, see, he wasn't ready for it. At least you can point to some other guys. Again, Kubiak, LaFleur, you can look at Shula, you can look at obviously McDermott, but you can look at other candidates that are currently available out there and say, at least they had the experience to bring to the table. And you could ride this thing out for at least 3 years to figure out what this foundation looks like. But God, if we go Webb and it doesn't work, that's going to be rough. It's going to be rough. So, guys, I thought we're going to go back up to the big screen. I think we just kind of wrapped up all the head coaching news, all the head coaching topics, man. We appreciate everybody kind of rocking with us. We have over 500 in the building. Do us a big favor. Double tap that screen. Hit the like button. You got Chris Tech Show Podcast. You got The Severe Raider. I'm 805 Raider, Real Talk Raider Nation. Guys, remember, we're going to be doing a lot of game film. We're going to break down prospects in free agency as well as the draft prospects. And we're going to break down the game film. We appreciate everybody that rocks out with us. So definitely tap it with that. We're going to wait till after the head coach is announced because that's the one thing we have to try to identify is who that head coach is going to be that can help us. And when they start to bring in their coaches, might give us a little bit more insight as to who we might target in free agency. So we're going to kind of wait for that. So we definitely appreciate everybody rocking. Chris, man, let everybody know what you got going on throughout the week.
Yeah, man. So I'm really just rocking out on this show every Wednesday and Sunday. You guys can catch me on the War Room. My brothers, man, make sure you guys hit me up on Protect the Show Podcast on all social media platforms. Also have a show with my boy Dub Raider, so you can always go to his channel, or you can actually because now we collaborate, so you can find it on my channel as well. So yeah, definitely check us out on every Saturday, man.
Yeah.
Severe, let them know what you got going on. Your 50 million shows throughout the week.
Yeah, man. I just real quick. Josh McDaniels is from Ohio. His dad is a legendary head coach and high school coach. He's been around head coaching his entire life. He went straight from John Carroll, basically right into coaching. So it's all of that. There's just none of that really matters at the end of the day, man. Have you done it yourself or not? Can you perform? And a lot of people didn't like the job he did. And Rundown, you a goddamn lie, brother. You a goddamn
You ain't
lie.
showing up to nowhere.
Hey, bro, don't even.
Right
You a guy. Look, bro. I love whoever programmed you. They programmed a hell of a guy. But you ain't meeting nowhere in Vegas.
You ain't showing up nowhere, Rundown.
Vegas, no Pittsburgh, man. Man, but y'all know what it is, man. The Severe Raider here on YouTube, IG, Snapchat, TikTok, X. To my one person over there on Twitch, man, I love you. Appreciate you. Hold down the Twitch.
They rock it down.
On your dolo, man. For the longest. I appreciate you over there.
Don't be talking to nobody. He ain't got nobody to chat with, but in there.
On his dolo, man. I appreciate it, man. But y'all know to find me, man. Sundays and Wednesdays with my guys in the Raider Roll Room. Christian Protect the Shield. Obviously 805 Raider. And then Tuesdays and Thursdays with my dog Farrell NFL. And the 50-50 show and Around the Shield. Actually, right now I'm about to hop on with Mike and the Black Team broadcast. I'm actually holding them up. I told them would be over there at 7 o'clock. So we on CP time right now. But so if y'all not over there watching Leo and them, man, stop over by the Black Team broadcast and holla at your boy.
Yeah, 100%, man. After this one, definitely go over. You got Jeff, all them. They're going live. Definitely jump into their lives. Give them your takes as well.
Support everybody, man.
100%. Before we get out of here, again, I'm 805 Raider. My channel's Real Talk Raider Nation. I hit you guys with some lives. I'll do some shorts. I'll do some solo lives here and there when I got time. But I rock out in the Raider War Room with my guys. You got Chris Peck Show podcast as well as the Severe Raider. We appreciate all the subscribers. We appreciate the super chats. We appreciate all the members tapping with us. We're going to be breaking down some game film. And on the next live, man, we will definitely talk more about draft because I'm sure with some of my takes, I'm probably going to piss some people off. But it's okay. I did it all last year, the year before. Have some fun, but we'll make it work. So appreciate y'all. We appreciate everybody that rocked with us. Before you get out of here, double tap that screen, and we'll see you on the next one. We out of here, guys.